one of the most important retirement decisions you'll make. Our team of advisors at Drake & Associates can show you the options and help you decide on the best decision for you and your situation. You spent decades paying in, optimize what comes out. Our experienced team can help you squeeze every penny out of your Social Security benefits. I'd love to get you our Retirement Ready Toolkit, which includes guides such as the Social Security decision. To receive this complimentary toolkit, call or text SS to 414-409-9982. That's calling or texting SS to 414-409-9982.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Loft Financial Advisory Group, LLC, a Wisconsin insurance agency. Clients are under no obligation to purchase any recommended insurance products.
Your locally owned hometown station gives you the news and what it means to you. Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 6 o'clock. I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Monday, January 29th. Our top story, the U.S. vowing retaliation after a deadly attack in Jordan.
I'm Eric Bilstead. Home invasion in Delavan.
I'm Brandon Snide. After an all-time epic collapse, the Super Bowl is officially set.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We do have an accident to start things off, 894 eastbound. Right at Forest Home. The right lane is blocked, so that's going to be tying things up through there. Otherwise, for the most part, road conditions are not too horribly bad. We are seeing slippery conditions in Waukesha County as well as Washington. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Patchy fog, still a problem today, otherwise mostly cloudy, with showers this evening and a high of 42 degrees. Shower with a chance of some snow mixing in tonight and a low down to 35. Right now, 34 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, President Biden says the United States will respond in a time and manner of its choosing to a deadly drone strike against a U.S. base in Jordan near the border with Syria.
In a statement, President Biden blamed the attack on radical Iran-backed militant groups operating in Syria and Iraq. At a campaign event in South Carolina Sunday, the president honored those killed.
We lost 3 brave souls in an attack on one of our bases, and we shall respond.
More than 30 service members were also injured in the attack at an outpost known as Tower 22, which provides support to U.S. Special Forces operating inside Syria. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
Here at home, 1 person dead, 2 others hurt after a triple shooting outside a nightclub in Milwaukee. It happened over the weekend, early Sunday. A fight escalated outside Eve Lounge near Fond du Lac and Baldwin. The owner, Thomas Holmes, tells TMJ4 News it led to a security guard's death. 2 others are expected to survive their injuries. Milwaukee police continue to look for suspects.
Police in Delavan investigating after home invasion and stabbing left 3 people injured. WTMJ's Adam Roberts live on the Breaking News Center.
That's right, Vince. Police crediting residents at a home on Burr Oak Court with quick and decisive actions that averted potential tragedy. This after a person forced their way into the home Sunday morning around 8:15. The 3 people stabbed in the invasion are expected to survive. Police were able to also arrest the suspect, who was also himself treated for injuries. It's still unclear this morning what happened inside the home or what led up to the invasion.
A Milwaukee Public Schools mom calling out the bus system after months of frustration. Deborah Watson says her 7-year-old son, Destin, attends Hopkins Lloyd Elementary School. He's missed 10 days of class because he wasn't picked up by the bus. Watson tells TMJ4 News MPS not communicating well.
My child, twice a week, don't get on the bus because they don't come. They don't communicate. And when I do reach out to them, they're answering the phone with an attitude and they're hanging up on me.
The school district says that bus only missed a route due to weather this month, but Watson claims it goes beyond just January.
Wisconsin lawmakers considering what they're calling a blackout license plate. The proposed plate is all black, has white numbers and lettering. Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports the plates are popular in both Iowa and Minnesota. They've generated some $30 million in revenue. There are more than 50 specialty license plates available already in Wisconsin.
After years of legal back and forth, the city of Milwaukee ready to move forward with plans for the Northridge Mall site after being granted ownership of the property last week. The Milwaukee Business Journal's Mark Cass tells WTMJ what the next steps are.
So now they're going to start the planning process. They're going to involve the neighborhood. They're going to involve the aldermen. I think what you'll see is a mixed use. You'll see industrial. You'll see probably a small amount of housing. You'll probably see some office, maybe some flex space.
Now, we should point out there is still a small chance that the former owner, U.S. Black Spruce, would appeal the transfer of ownership.
The tax filing season begins today.
Got your W-2s and your receipts? Now you can put them to work.
Filing season has begun, and the IRS stands ready to help make the process of filing your taxes as smooth and easy as possible.
IRS Commissioner Danny Werfel says that includes ramping up staffing at call and walk-in centers and updating the website irs.gov and the app IRS To Go. The filing deadline this year, Monday, April 15th, except in Maine and Massachusetts, where it's the 17th. Daria Albinger, ABC News.
Coming up, new information in a nearly 90-year stretch for a missing pilot. Signing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:04.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Flimsy, feeble, flaccid. That's how you can describe most pre-approval letters these days. Heck, a lot of big banks issue pre-approval letters using soft credit pulls instead of real credit reports. Do you really want to compete in today's still low inventory market with a soft credit pull and a pre-approval that's silent on 2 of the 3 critical elements of a mortgage approval? A rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from AccuNet not only verifies your credit with a real credit report, we also verify your income and down payment, and then issue a letter with a $2,000 guarantee to back it up. And now, AccuNet is issuing property-specific pre-approvals that often come with this sweet phrase: no appraisal required. That's right, AccuNet may be able to issue your pre-approval at or above the seller's asking price without needing an appraisal. Today's home market is still a metaphorical knife fight. Your bank is offering you, well, a pocket knife. AccuNet is Crocodile Dundee. Now that's a knife, mate. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Shop Steinhoffel's Tempur-Pedic Ergo Smart Bases. They start at $42 per month with Steinhoffel's 60-month financing, and you'll get $300 in Steinhoffel's cash. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com. Steinhoffels is your mattress destination.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:07.
The Super Bowl is set. We'll look ahead with Brandon Snide in sports at 6:15.
We've all seen them on television, on billboards, on ads. QR codes are becoming a common method for scammers now to obtain your information. Representative Michelle Reinen with the Department of Ag and Trade Consumer Protection tells Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News tips on how to avoid suspicious codes.
Inspect the URL or the web address before entering in any information. The other thing you can do is just take a look. When you open your camera and look at the QR code, it's going to show you where you're going. Be leery of shortened website links where it doesn't completely tell you where to go.
Reinen also advises a QR scanner app from a cybersecurity company.
The Beekeeper led the way while Oscar Buzz helped some others on a quiet weekend at the box office.
There were no new wide movie releases.
You're a blessing, Mr. Clay.
And that's what the box office was saying to The Beekeeper, which took the top spot in its 3rd week in theaters. The Jason Statham action movie made $7.4 million for Amazon MGM, just edging out Mean Girls, as Wonka in 3rd place moved closer to $200 million domestic. Some movies got bumps from Oscar nominations. American Fiction was up by 65%. Poor Things was up by 43%. Brian Clark, ABC News.
Vince, there's new hope. New hope in the decades-long search to solve the mystery of what happened to aviation pioneer Amelia Earhart, the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic, disappeared after setting out on a journey around the world back in 1937.
Tony Romeo, head of the exploration company Deep Sea Vision, recently searched across 5,200 square miles of the Pacific Ocean floor using an unmanned submersible. In the final leg of the expedition, the team captured a sonar image of what looks like an object shaped like an airplane resting
resting underwater within 100 miles of Howland Island, near where Earhart was believed to have gone down after refueling in Papua New Guinea. Romeo says he wasn't surprised to find the aircraft intact, saying, "We always felt that Earhart would have made every attempt to land the aircraft gently on the water."
ABC's Allison Kosick. Usually, whenever you hear a story about Amelia Earhart, there's like a book coming out or a new
series,
new documentary on Nat Geo or something.
At the end of which you get, but we still don't know. Right. 6:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
So it's about time you spruced up your home. Nothing major. You're not looking to spend a ton, but you are looking for something that'll give your quarters a little upgrade. You know there are a lot of things you can do with glass. Simply beveling your mirrors can do wonders. You can mill out your wood cabinet doors and replace the center with attractive glass inserts, or customize them with unique handcrafted artistry, or maybe a theme. You could even install a new glass shower door and add some real appeal to your bathroom. They're all pretty affordable home improvements, and Les's Glass Service has been helping homeowners like you for just about longer than anyone in town. You probably don't realize how affordably we can help you reach your home's full potential, but we do, and we can show you countless options. So if it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
Traffic is sponsored by the Amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
The successful Fox and Hounds and Mineshaft restaurants are hiring friendly, people-oriented servers. You'll make real cash, full or part-time, and always busy. Inquire today, start next week.
Checking in with Debbie here at 6:10.
All right, we still have this accident, 894 eastbound right at Forest Home Avenue. Looks like the right lane is blocked. Cars are able to get past on the left, but just something to keep in mind. Otherwise, no other delays or incidents up on the board. Just remember, there may be still some slick spots out there as you're driving around, especially in Waukesha, Washington, and Ozaukee counties. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today: areas of patchy fog will be possible early on. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies with a few peaks of sunshine later in the day. High temperatures in the lower 40s. A weak clipper system heads our way later on this evening into the overnight hours. We could see a couple rain showers and a light wintry mix with low temperatures dropping into the mid-30s. For Tuesday, we'll see cloudy skies, a few areas of drizzle and a wintry mix possible. High temperatures will be near 44 degrees by Wednesday with partly cloudy skies. A little bit more cloud cover on Thursday with highs in the 40s, and then more sunshine by Friday with high temperatures in the upper 30s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Tyler's got us at 34 degrees to start.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
On this Monday morning update to a story that we've been talking about for a couple months here on Wisconsin's Morning News. Before the end of last year, Eric and I started talking about this, the fiscal cliff that school districts across the state are towing up to. They're running out of room on the bluff, if you want to extend the analogy.
Ooh, very good.
Right, you like that?
Yeah, I do.
So the answer...
I don't, but I do.
Right, you don't like, but you like the analogy.
Yes.
Right. The answer many school districts across the state will present is going to referendum, asking taxpayers for millions of dollars in various referendum questions. MPS, the largest district in the state, on the heels of a similar referendum that voters just passed or approved in 2020, they're going back to the taxpayers for more. This time it'll be $250 million in a ballot question that will be on that ballot in spring. Many other districts are going to be doing this. Read a really interesting piece. It may have populated in if you have the JS Online app. It was actually written in the Green Bay Press Gazette by Danielle Duclos. And I read you the headline already. If it seems Wisconsin school districts are asking voters for money more often, it's because they are. And then she kind of details a number of the things that we talked about, but laid it out really well. Here's the paragraph that I want to focus on. Estimated that a quarter of school districts in the state will put referendums on the ballot in 2024. And she cites Julie Underwood, a Dean Emerita with the University of Wisconsin-Madison. She focuses on education policy. More than 50 districts have already said they're putting at least one referendum on the ballot in 24. Many others are considering it.
Shared revenue.
Well, that's the reason that we started talking about it was, one, to put it in front of you because you have now discovered this is happening in your home district.
Doing it, yep.
Same thing where I live in Greendale. And some are still kicking it around, deciding, are we going to put this on the ballot or not? But just wanted to put it in front of folks because this may be coming to a school district near you in the community that you live, but also because it's on the heels of this celebrated historic investment in education that we heard so much about at the end of the budget cycle. In Madison, by summer, we had passed this budget.
It was a huge deal. Big
both sides
celebration.
of the aisle. Yep, this is what we had to do. A couple of reasons that we've highlighted in the article goes into it as well. State funding for schools have not kept up with the pace of inflation in more than a decade. It's probably closer to a decade and a half, since 2009. You also had COVID funds sort of plugging some of those gaps for school districts in the last several years. Those funds are drying up.
Right.
So you have that collision, and then special education funding from the state does not come close to covering the high cost of that duty that local districts have to provide. So even with that quote-unquote historic investment in education, school districts are now up against it. You can debate whether or not, and every school district is different, so you may believe that your district and your community is fiscally responsible. You may disagree, and the funding packages are different regardless of where you go, but this is coming. And that interesting piece, again, the writer of the piece is Danielle Duclos, writing in the Green Bay Press-Gazette. 6:15 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Vince Vitrano here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Talk about being up against a deadline. You're running out of time to get the latest deal from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and you can still do it now and save money on your energy bills. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin offers some of the most energy-efficient windows in the industry. They keep the cold out where it belongs. You'll realize energy savings in the summer as well when you're into air conditioning season. And right now, if you book the work by the end of this month, so by the 31st, you get 0% interest for up to 36 months. No interest up to 36 months if you book the work in your home by January 31st. And in terms of style, you can go traditional or contemporary. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin will bring their folks into your home, look at your space, and have a lot of suggestions on how you proceed with how you want things to look. You know you're going to get great energy savings. And that deal, 0% interest for up to 36 months, is by work that is booked by January 31st. So just a few more days left to get in on that deal. Visit PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions do apply.
Are you tired of being tired? Go to AdventKnows.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
After dominating the Pelicans on Saturday night, the Milwaukee Bucks are out in the Mile High City tonight to take on the Nuggets. The 32-14 Bucks will welcome in Doc Rivers to make his debut as the head coach tonight, something guard Damian Lillard is looking forward to.
We all know what he brings. You know, we heard his voice, him coaching other teams. You know, he's had success, played in this league. He went to school in this city, been around a long time as a coach. You know, he's coached a lot of great players. So I think you would have a hard time thinking of something that he hasn't experienced. You know, he's a strong voice, and you know he's going to demand more from our team. I think when you're dealing with a team that's full of vets and as talented as we are, I think that's something that you need if you want to reach the level that we want to reach, and I think he's a perfect person for it.
Milwaukee will look to begin their 5-game West Coast road trip tonight with an 8 p.m. tip time in Denver. Buck Shoot Around will get you ready right here on WTMJ beginning at 7 p.m. Over to the NFL, where Super Bowl 58 is all set. The 49ers knocking off the Detroit Lions Sunday night, 34-31. At one point, the Lions led by as much as 17 points in the second half. Head coach Dan Campbell on why his team struggled down the stretch to end the game.
Honestly, right now, I can't put my finger on that. That's not like us. You know, we had plays to be made that we just didn't make. We normally do. And so fourth quarter, you feel like we're going to get it back, and we just couldn't quite get over the hump. And that hasn't been us all year, and it showed up today.
Eric's over there smiling over there.
You had field goals you didn't take. That was the issue.
27 unanswered points from the Niners to the Lions. They were up 24-7 at halftime.
This is when analytics bites you in the you-know-what, when you think too hard about those spreadsheets and don't actually play football.
I guess but you could argue, though, that it got them there, right? Do you want to start deviating now from your plan?
But what does that mean?
No.
Right, I guess. I mean, clearly it didn't work.
It did not work. On the other side, you two can stop me if you heard this before. Patrick Mahomes heading back to the Super Bowl, his 4th appearance in his last 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like losing any games, so every loss I feel like is tough. We always had everything we wanted in front of us, and we had that mindset, and Coach Reed preaches that every single day we come into the building, and no one hung their head, and everybody was ready to go, and now we're going to the Super Bowl, and like I said, we're not done.
Mahomes speaking there following the 17-10 win over Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. There'll be a rematch, Vince, from 4 years ago. Niners-Chiefs, February 11th from Las Vegas.
Coming up, we're going to learn more about the deadly attack on U.S. troops in the Middle East. We'll talk live with Karen Travers, ABC News White House correspondent, next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Got game?
What was the question?
Yeah, we've got game. We've also got...
Swims through his man and lays it in as he knifes his way into the low block.
And...
He'll give to Giannis, and he says, I'll add some more to my tally. Thank you very much.
And who could forget?
Pulls up top of the arc. He got bumped, and he hit the three. Count that, baby, with another one coming.
Catch every Milwaukee Bucks basketball game all season long on your home for the Bucks. 620 WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano here for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Docs are docs, right? Docs are not docs. Some are better than others. And the best are at OAW. And you don't have to take my word for it. MKE Lifestyle Magazine out with its top doctors issue. 19 of them on this list are at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. 2 of them, Eric, on my medical team.
Ooh, of course
my medical team. My anesthesiologist, the surgeon who did my knee procedure, they're on the list. My wife's doc is on the list. My buddy Stu, I've told you about him getting his shoulder put back together. His doc is on the list. You know the old joke, what do you call the person who finished last in their class at medical school? Doctor.
That's right.
Yeah, well, it's not as funny when that's the person doing your surgery. You want the best. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Indeed. Walk right in at Ortho ASAP Clinics or book an appointment at orthowisconsin.com.
Our mission is to protect and uphold our reputation. At Semper Fi, it's the banner we all march under, because the reputation we earn and uphold belongs to all of us. And without a strong reputation in the exterior remodeling business, you're here today and gone tomorrow. And when you've earned a good reputation, that's what makes the difference in value. It's the little extra that you get for the price. And that assurance is actually what counts the most, because it means the good money you're spending with us is not going to go to waste. A roof you can rely on, with a warranty that has a backbone. Craftsman quality airtight window and door installations. Brick and stone masonry that's clean and sharp. And new siding that's been known to stop traffic. And it's all backed by a team that over the last 20 years have put a lot of heart and soul into building a reputation that you can believe in. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Checking in with Debbie here at 621.
All right. Well, eastbound on 894 at Forest Home. We've got an accident there blocking the right lane still, so watch out for that. Well, actually, looks like they moved everything off to the right shoulder, so that should improve things a little bit. Other than that, we really don't have any other delays around the area. Everything's looking good. Driving conditions, not all that great through Ozaukee, Washington, and Waukesha County. Milwaukee County so far holding its own. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast includes patchy fog, otherwise mostly cloudy, and a shower moving in this evening with a high of 42 degrees. Perhaps a rain-snow mix in shower form tonight, and a low down to 35. Tuesday's high 40 with some drizzle and maybe some snow mixed in early. Right now, 34 in Milwaukee. 3 U.S. service members killed, more than 24 hurt in the Middle East following a suicide drone attack. I'm going to get right to ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers, who's live with us from Washington this morning. Karen, good morning. The U.S. officials say this was an attack on a U.S. base border between Jordan and Syria, and they believe it came from increasingly bold militants backed by Iran.
Drone into the base where some 350 Army and Air Force personnel are housed. And the result was tragic, devastating. 3 American service members killed, at least 34 injured. And 8 of those injuries were so serious that the Americans were quickly evacuated so that they could get a higher level of care. The president yesterday was in South Carolina. He got 2 national security briefings on this. And at a public event, he commented on this and said, "We lost 3 brave souls in an attack on one of our bases." He called for a moment of silence. And then after that, he said, "We shall respond." Now, in terms of what that response is, the president in a paper statement said, said, we will hold all those responsible to account at a time and in a manner of our choosing. But no details, no surprise on what that would look like. But that is going to be a big topic of conversation at the White House briefing today, no doubt, about what the U.S. would do. Has the U.S. response to these Iranian proxy attacks so far been not enough, as some members of Congress have been saying, and what should come next in order to stop this?
Yeah, and Karen, we've hit targets in response to other attacks in both Yemen, in Syria. What about the prospects of going right at Iran?
Yeah, and you know, the response so far to the more than 160 Iranian proxy attacks on Americans in Syria and Iraq, it's been limited. It's largely striking storage facilities, trying to go after the means of carrying out these attacks. The Pentagon has long had options for striking Iran itself. Now, Iran today is denying that they had any role in this attack, saying that these accusations are baseless, that the militant groups don't take orders from Iran, and Iran does not want to start a war here. But there is, of course, growing pressure to strike back and to strike back hard. But notably, Martha Raddatz, ABC's Martha Raddatz, had an interview with the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff just days before the attack. And she asked him, like, what do you say to the critics who say that the U.S. is not being tough enough on these militants, not being tough enough on Iran? And General Brown said he would ask, do they want a broader conflict? Do you want us in a full-scale war? He said the administration, the U.S., does not want to go down a path of greater escalation that drives into a much broader conflict in the region.
Karen, do we know anything more about the American soldiers involved?
Not yet. I think that would be details that we probably not get today. Tomorrow we'll see once, of course, there's just so many personal notifications and things that have to take place.
Talking with ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers at the White House. One final thing here on this too, Karen. This comes at a time when there could be the prospects of a brokered peace, temporary as it may be, in Gaza. Does this hurt that effort or affect it in any way?
Yeah, and it's a good question, of like, can you have these two separate conversations happening where the United States is taking action, as the president said, for those responsible for this, while also carrying on these very delicate and serious negotiations to enact a longer-term pause in order to get the hostages out and get more aid into Gaza. White House officials will say, yes, you can do those two things at the same time. Now, whether this complicates that, I think remains to be seen, but that is absolutely something that will be asked today at the White House briefing for sure.
Karen Travers at the White House for us this morning. Thanks, Karen.
Have a great day.
And Eric, your question was an important one. It just, it takes time for these families to be notified and all of that stuff. So we expect more information on which soldiers or troops of any kind were injured in this, and of course, our military dead as well. News a bunch of money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average closed Friday up about 60 points to 38,109. The Nasdaq fell 55 to 15,455, and the S&P 500 was down to 4891. That was off just a few points. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. Details at annexwealth.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Transform your bathroom like we did. It's Sidex, S-I-D-E-X, Sidex. Take out that conventional bathtub, put in a walk-in shower. That's what we did at our house. It's beautiful. It's open. It's transformed our bathroom. And right now with Sidex, you get $750 off any bathtub or shower replacement. They serve within 60 miles of Milwaukee. It's Sidex. They did the work at our house. It was quick. It was affordable. It was efficient. And our bathroom is beautiful. Go with the company we trust, Sidex. Free shower door upgrade when you mention WTMJ or John Mercure.
The reviews are in, and folks seem to like how we do business. And what's more, they can't get over the level of service and real estate expertise they get for far less than what they'd pay an agent from a big-name company. At 3.5 to 3.9%, you'll save up to nearly 50% in commission by choosing a Benefit Realty full-service agent. Everything they do, we do, for up to 50% less. There's no catch. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. See our success stories at benefit-realty.com. One day, a 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission structure will be commonplace. But for now, it's not the case. So you can pay 6% for what we can do for about half that, or you can pay less for full service. For some, it's hard to believe, but for our customers, they know it to be true. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, and our agents understand the meaning of great customer service. And you'll see they're the cream of the crop. So don't pay more than you have to. Pay less. For full service with Benefit Realty. Benefit-realty.com.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Capital Heating and Cooling. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Get a tax refund advance loan at Jackson Hewitt now. No fee refund advance is offered to eligible clients. Application required. Loans by Republic Bank. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Wisconsin's Morning News National Anthem powered by Wenniger Compressor, putting the I Can in American. The University of Wisconsin Marching Band.
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. E. Jean Carroll's on ABC's Good Morning America, speaking publicly for the first time since a jury ordered former President Donald Trump to pay her more than $83 million in defamation damages. She recounted the moment she made eye contact with the jurors after the verdict.
Well, it was very moving. It made me burst into tears because they met my eyes for the first time. It's very moving.
Trump is appealing. President Biden's vowing a U.S. response to the attack on American military personnel in Jordan that killed 3 and injured 34, the White House blaming Iranian-backed militias. U.S. is taking part in regional talks on a new ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. The Kansas City Chiefs are in the Super Bowl for the 4th time in 5 years. They'll play the San Francisco 49ers, who rallied from 17 points down to beat the Detroit Lions. And Kensington Palace's Kate, the Princess of Wales, is back at her home after she was hospitalized for abdominal surgery. This is ABC News.
It's 6:31. I'm Adam Roberts. Our top story, the U.S. prepares its response to a deadly attack in Jordan.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We got 894 eastbound at Forest Home. Still have an accident on the right shoulder there, so watch for that. The rest of the system actually looking pretty good. Not seeing any other delays. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Patchy fog this morning, otherwise mostly cloudy today. A chance for an evening shower in your storm team forecast. A high of 42. Shower and a snow mix chance overnight tonight with a low of 35. Right now we've got clear skies and 32 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, President Biden saying the U.S. will respond in a time and manner of its choosing to the deadly drone strike against the U.S. base in Jordan near the border with Syria. ABC News correspondent Karen Travers tells Wisconsin's Morning News what that response looks like is still uncertain.
That is going to be a big topic of conversation at the White House briefing today, no doubt, about what the U.S. would do. Has the U.S. response to these Iranian proxy attacks so far been not enough, as some members of Congress have been saying, and what should come next in order to stop this?
Travers also says the topic of a potential hostage release will be discussed at today's White House briefing. Here at home, a judge will consider whether to release one of the women charged in the Slenderman case from 2014 at a hearing today. An attorney for Morgan Geyser has requested her release from Winnebago Mental Health Institute. She and Anissa Wire stabbed Peyton Leutner in Davids Park after a sleepover in 2014, allegedly to please the fictional character Slenderman. Geyser was found not guilty by reason of mental disease and was initially sentenced in 2018 to a maximum of 40 years of state mental health supervision, while Wire was granted conditional release in 2021. Police in Delavan are investigating after a home invasion and stabbing leaves 4 people injured, including the suspect. Police crediting residents at a home on Burr Oak Court with quick and decisive actions that averted potential tragedy after a person forced their way into the home Sunday morning around 8:15. The 3 people stabbed by the suspect in the invasion expected to survive. Police were able to arrest the suspect, who was also treated for injuries. A Milwaukee mother is blaming Milwaukee Public Schools for her child's truancy, saying the bus has missed her son for pickup multiple times. Deborah Watson tells TMJ4 News it would not be a problem if she could help it.
I lost access to a vehicle. My kid's attendance was perfect. Never missed a day. And ever since then, where I had to depend on the bus, his attendance is horrible. It sucks.
MPS responded to a request to comment, saying they only missed pickups twice this month because of the weather. And today is the first day the IRS will start accepting tax returns from 2023. Most refunds will be issued 21 days after filing, but the IRS warns against relying on a refund to pay a bill or other charges. Those needing help filing their taxes can access the IRS Taxpayers Assistance Center on West Wisconsin Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. The deadline to file a federal tax return, pay any tax owed, or request an extension to file is Monday, April 15th. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts. Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 6:35.
As we indicated, the Super Bowl is set. Hope you like Taylor Swift. That story next.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
The successful Fox and Hounds and Mineshaft restaurants are hiring friendly, people-oriented servers. You'll make real cash, full or part-time, and always busy. Inquire today, start next week.
988 Wisconsin Lifeline. How can I help you?
Share hope, find purpose when you become a 988 Wisconsin Lifeline counselor. The 988 Wisconsin Lifeline provides free and confidential support to anyone experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis. Staffed by Family Services, 988 has experienced tremendous growth, and more statewide counselors are needed to answer calls, texts, and chats to the Lifeline. If you want to share hope and find purpose in your next job, apply now. You can work remotely from anywhere in Wisconsin. Training is provided and flexible hours are available. 988 Wisconsin Lifeline counselors enjoy competitive compensation and benefits packages. Most importantly, you can share hope and find purpose when you become a 988 Wisconsin Lifeline counselor. Apply today at 988lifelinecounselor.org. Family Services is an equal opportunity employer.
Paid for by grants from SAMHSA and the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Hey, Gene Miller here. The heart of winter is the best time to call my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. Save heating and cooling dollars down the road with energy-efficient replacement windows and doors from brands like Pella, Anderson, Marvin, and more. Hometown is your local source for wood, vinyl, or fiberglass, plus all of their products are installed by employee carpenters. Stop into their newly remodeled showroom in New Berlin and see the Hometown difference. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. HometownWindows.com.
Just like most cars and trucks can't run without oil, no person can function without food. That's why, through the end of February, the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee is contributing $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 13 years, Adam has provided more than 2.4 million meals to people in southeastern Wisconsin. And now, the need is greater than ever. Find a participating Adam dealer near you at adamm.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:37.
Doc's debut is tonight with the Bucks. Brandon Snide looks ahead in sports at 6:45.
If you had fatigue before, get ready.
Did you watch the whole game?
Most
AFC
of
Championship
it.
game?
That one, I mean, it wasn't as exciting, so I kind of dipped in and out doing other stuff around
I feel
the
like
house.
I didn't see as much of Taylor Swift there as we
true.
have
That's
in the network broadcast of the game.
Yeah, there wasn't like every other shot.
Right.
But she's coming to the Super Bowl.
Every third shot.
Well, actually, just the Kelceys in general. Travis Kelce, obviously a member of the Kansas City Chiefs. His brother just recently retired, plays for the Eagles. Of course, he was on the field at the end of the game wearing Chiefs gear, by the way, which I thought was interesting. So Taylor Swift will be in Tokyo on February 11th. The Super Bowl is, February 10th. The Super Bowl is February 11th. But because she's flying east from Tokyo, she'll be able to go back in time, if you will. and get to Vegas in time for the Super Bowl on February 11th.
Which for sure she's going to do, right?
You would assume so. I mean, she's got her own jet and all that stuff. So, like, full night's sleep. I mean, she'll be able to actually...
Yeah, she's not arriving at the airport 2 hours early and, going through security.
Yeah.
And all that stuff.
I mean, it should be good.
Although, international flight, you still got to go through some hoops, right?
She'll be able to perform her concert Saturday night in Tokyo, get a full night of rest, and as long as the 13-hour flight leaves before 6 p.m. Japanese time, she'll land in Vegas before kickoff at 3:30 Pacific.
There you go. So don't worry, she'll be there.
Yeah, of course.
is what you're saying.
Yeah,
so go ahead and watch the Super Bowl then.
Well, and just be prepared. Here we go.
Right.
This is, I mean, you're going to be dominated. If you weren't already, you're going to be dominated by Kelsey stuff and Taylor Swift stuff for the next 2 weeks.
Hey, coming up, you got more on these black license plates that we want to do here in Wisconsin,
Here
or at
we
least
go.
it's a proposal.
Yep.
Yet another license plate that you could get that's not the standard license plate, which apparently they're all peeling off anyway. Are these going to be good?
No, these will be good.
Okay, that story next.
Kessler's gives you diamond choices that no one else can give you.
We have all the colors and clarities and carat weights of diamonds that come from diamond mines.
And we also have diamonds that come from plasma chambers, newborn created diamonds.
Is it time to buy an engagement ring?
Or a big anniversary diamond?
Tell them what an anniversary diamond is, Monica.
An anniversary diamond can be twice as big as the one in her engagement ring.
Why twice as big?
Every diamond makes a statement.
Okay.
The anniversary diamond says, I love you twice as much today as the day I married you.
Now tell them about our miraculous no small print warranty.
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed.
It's just that simple.
And all maintenance is free forever.
No charge.
Yes, it really is that miraculous.
You found a partner you want to share your life with.
When you're ready to celebrate.
We've got a diamond for that.
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scavini for the Bath Authority. If your bath or shower is old, outdated, has mold and mildew, or broken tiles, you got to call my friends at the Bath Authority. The Bath Authority provides the highest quality bathroom remodeling products along with a world-class customer experience. Find out for yourself. Elevate your bathroom to a new level of luxury, style, and safety. Schedule your free in-home estimate today and get $1,000 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. TheBathAuthority.com. A better bath awaits.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
Traffic is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Rejuvenix. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenix.com to request your appointment.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 641.
Checking the roads here with Debbie.
All right. Well, right now we are looking a little bit better. We had that earlier accident on 894 eastbound around Forest Home has been cleared. We do have a new one, though. It is on an on-ramp from Highway KR to northbound 94 in Kenosha County. So between the Kenosha and Racine County line there. Other than that, we got, for the most part, looking pretty good. Not seeing any other delays in the rest of the system. And by the way, you could be our eyes on the roads. You can report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, areas of patchy fog will be possible early on. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies with a few peaks of sunshine later in the day. High temperatures in the lower 40s. A weak Clipper system heads our way later on this evening into the overnight hours. We could see a couple rain showers and a light wintry mix with low temperatures dropping into the mid-30s. For Tuesday, we'll see cloudy skies, a few areas of drizzle and a wintry mix possible. High temperatures will be near 44 degrees by Wednesday with partly cloudy skies. A little bit more cloud cover on Thursday with highs in the 40s, and then more sunshine by Friday with high temperatures in the upper 30s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temp at 34 degrees. .643 Wisconsin's Morning News. I guess if you bother to have license plates, which a lot of folks around here don't seem to, you have maybe another choice on the horizon.
It's being considered anyway and proposed a blackout license plate in Wisconsin. So what does that mean? It's just a plate that's entirely black. You can't see anything. I'm kidding. That's not what it is. It's black with white.
We also already have that.
It's white numbers and lettering. So it's just a black plate, white numbers and lettering, and it says Wisconsin on the top of it. Now, the Journal Sentinel has a story about it today. Apparently, they have these plates in Iowa and Minnesota, and they're super popular. In fact, the paper says they've generated more than $30 million in revenue in Iowa.
Just a nicer, cleaner look?
Well, so that's what I kind of figured that, or maybe it matches a car better. You know what I mean? Depending on what your plate looks like, it might just blend into your
look
car.
Cooler?
Yeah, I guess so.
I kind of don't even notice the license plate.
But the paper goes into great detail about how it has to do with like nostalgia. It's a throwback design, says one of the proposed lawmakers behind it. Embraced by other states, adds a touch of nostalgia and individuality to our vehicles.
Well, it is very simple.
Yeah.
There aren't pictures of anything on there. There's not a whole bunch of stuff. And
were you surprised by the number of specialty plates we apparently have in Wisconsin when you saw that number? There are more than 50.
I would have guessed a dozen.
Yeah, me too. Maybe 15.
Brewers, Packers, Bucks, and then you got like Children's Wisconsin has a plate.
Yeah, there's a Mac
Fun
Fund
Wolf
one.
plate and a couple other things.
Yeah, no, 50.
Probably a fish plate of some kind, right?
So this one looks, if you're trying to figure out what this one looks like, it's kind of like the Elkhart Lake one. You know, that one's got like the actual track on it. That's similar to what this one will look like. It just will be no other design, just black.
And where does the money go? That just goes into state DOT coffers then, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, just like all the other specialty plates.
Right.
So, yeah, it's not a done deal. It's going to take some time to figure this out and has to be approved. The whole legislature doesn't have to get behind it, but it's still a long process.
I don't know. Why should it be that long? I'm glad the legislature doesn't have to vote on this. The 100-plus members of the Assembly and Senate and floor debate and whatever. I don't care. Just put a plate on your car, would
I
you?
just need confirmation that they actually can still read the actual numbers, because everything likes to rub off around here. All these plates rub off, so the same thing happened with these silly plates.
6:45, Brandon's got sports next.
Family owned and operated. Yep, we sure are. Since 1970. And I know you've probably heard it a million times. But the words family owned and operated hold a lot of water. They mean you can count on dealing with an expert. Because when your dad runs the show, he teaches you all that he knows. They mean prompt service. Because it's not just our job, it's a big part of our life. They mean you're actually working with someone who has accountability and a real interest in your satisfaction and their business's overall success. So when you hear businesses say the words family owned and operated, give them a try, because small business owners like us really do have your best interest in mind. And when you need advice from Southeastern Wisconsin's foremost glass experts, call me. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of Southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life. Brands from Carhartt to Milwaukee to Purina to Goodyear to Rapala to Levi's and a whole lot more. In-store or online, check out all the brands Fleet Farm carries to help make your everyday life better.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
Super Bowl 58 is officially set. The San Francisco 49ers coming back from being down 17 points to beat the Detroit Lions by a final score of 34-31. They'll face off with the Kansas City Chiefs, who beat Baltimore on Sunday as well, 17-10 to advance to their fourth Super Bowl in 5 years. Super Bowl 58 set for February 11th from Las Vegas. The Milwaukee Bucks will begin a 5-game West Coast road trip tonight in Denver. Doc Rivers is expected to make his coaching debut for Milwaukee. Tip-off time set for 8 p.m. And lastly, the Associated Press Top 25 released their new college basketball rankings this morning. The Wisconsin Badgers coming in at number 13, and the Marquette Golden Eagles, after a win over the weekend against Seton Hall, coming in at number 14.
It's time for Extra Points, a sports opinion commentary on Wisconsin's morning news. Here's Brendan Snide.
The offseason activities are on in Green Bay, which also means so is their search for their next signal caller for the defense after firing coordinator Joe Barry last week. The debate, like everything, is also amongst the faithful cheeseheads. Who to hire, who not to hire, and of course, why. For me, and well, maybe for you, if you want success in Green Bay with the talented group of guys that we already have, it should focus less on the scheme a coach brings and more of the person himself. Wanting a specific type of defense means nothing when you hire a coach who doesn't adjust to his players or the opposing offense. With Barry over the past 3 seasons, well, that's exactly what we had in Green Bay. The Fangio scheme is one of the more popular and effective defenses ran out there, but again, you can scheme all you want. If you aren't able to step up and make changes where you see fit and put players in a position to be successful, schemes all go out the window and really don't matter much at all. For me, it's hire the coach, not the type of defense they will run. Bring in the best candidate who will run a whatever defense, name it, but also let it be known that he will make adjustments where it's needed and allow our best players in the best positions to succeed, to finally become a unit other teams start to fear. Bring in the coach who will bring in new ideas, who will infuse the energy on that side of the ball, and someone who will bring out the best of a unit that has been highly invested in for so many years. It's not about a scheme or even a no name. It's about head coach Matt LaFleur finding and hiring his Matt LaFleur.
This is WTMJ's Sandy Max with a brand new show called What's on Tap. Weeknights at 6, you're invited to join me to take a deeper dive into culture and creativity here in Wisconsin and around the world. Tap into all kinds of entertainment and recreation with me, from music, theater, film, food, and uniquely Wisconsin traditions and landmarks. So pique your curiosity and join me for What's on Tap. And be sure to catch the podcast on your favorite podcast platform.
That guy doesn't.
Time to ramp up your business. Work smarter with Walker Media Agency, building your brand. Vince Vitrano here. Matt Walker and his team, they've rebuilt so many websites for Wisconsin companies, big and small, from online publications, software solutions, even a company that rents campers. You can do it right direct there online. Walker Media Agency has all of their websites looking attractive, they're functional, and this is super important. They're optimized for search engine results. Beautiful website, right, that nobody can find. That's not working for you. And are you, when new customers to the digital front door of your business, are you confident that they will be as proud of your work as you are? If you even wonder about that answer, get Matt Walker and Walker Media Agency working for you. You can focus on what you do best, your core business, and let Matt and his team handle the rest. Start that relationship with Matt at WalkerWTMJ.com. That's WalkerWTMJ.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Merck here for one of the very special places in our community. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. They offer early memory loss classes. They take care of people in your family who have dementia symptoms or other related cognitive declines. I'll tell you what, I've been in their facilities. They're special. They're incredible. I have an aunt who's in a facility. I know what it means to make sure your family's in the right place. That's Azura. It's compassion and empathy. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, AzuraLiving.com.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first, and then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Great breaded, sautéed, or fried, Sendix is featuring large, raw, cleaned, and butterflied shrimp for just $4.99 per pound. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendix Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. What do you have, Deb?
Well, we've got one accident. It's on 94 northbound, right about at the Racine-Kenosha County line. It is off on the right shoulder. Looks like there is a semi involved with this one, so just be prepared for that. Otherwise, the rest of the system is moving along pretty well. Not seeing any other delays. Just a couple slick spots through Ozaki, Washington, and Waukesha counties. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ 5-day forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. I don't see any big weather events here on the 5-day from Storm Team 4 meteorologist Tyler Moore. Not real pretty weather. Patchy fog today, mostly cloudy with an evening shower possible, and a high of 42 degrees. Shower tonight would bring in a chance for a mix of snow and a low down to 35. Drizzle early on Tuesday with maybe some snow mixing in, cloudy, high of 40. Wednesday's high 44 under partly cloudy skies, mostly cloudy on Thursday, 44 for the high. And Friday looks partly cloudy with a high of 38. Right now, 34 in Milwaukee. At 6:53 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Was it Saturday we got like a taste of sun? Like it was trying, it was
nice.
working so hard to peek out.
Got a little bit.
Like little vampires. What is that? Go away, you giant orb.
Yeah.
Strange weather. So do you have gas in your house? Gas stove?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I was electric stove like forever, and I remember as a kid, like my mom always favored gas, and now that I do more cooking, I know why.
Right.
And the new
me
electric stoves are better than they used to be. They heat up quicker. The hard part with the electric is they don't cool down as quick.
Correct.
Right. So when you are like I am when I'm cooking, stuff's boiling over all the time because I'm not paying attention.
Cut that heat.
Right.
Shoot.
I love my gas stove. I know a lot of folks like it. Chicago right now is at least toying with the idea of going all electric on future appliances, requiring that is the case. How are they going to do that? Well, they want to follow New York down the path of banning natural gas stoves and kind of gas everything else for that matter in future construction. ABC's Lionel Moyes.
Chicago is not the first big city to tackle this issue. In New York, gas and construction trade groups are suing to block a state ban on gas stoves and furnaces in new buildings. The first stage of the New York ban is set to take effect in 2026.
So what are they doing in Chicago? The proposal is at the city council level. It would essentially outlaw natural gas hookups. So they don't ban the appliances or whatever, but in any new construction, they prevent the construction from having the hookups.
Being able to utilize the
exactly.
appliance.
So we're talking
Gotcha.
furnaces, water heaters, other appliances, including stoves.
That would require new buildings and homes to use electric over natural gas. Opponents say not so fast. They're calling for a study on the potential costs, especially if such a ban is eventually expanded to more buildings. Critics also question whether the electric company can handle the extra load.
Isn't that a great question? You know, this bothers me all the time.
Yeah, with the cars. You think about that all the time. Yep.
How are we going to handle everything getting plugged in the future? We have nearly 300 million vehicles in this country already on the roads. And there are forces that want to see all of those ultimately plugged in. Nobody wants to build power plants either on top of that. Newsflash for those folks who don't know, and I sincerely wonder whether some don't. Electricity is not magic. Right? It gets generated by a power plant somewhere, and it doesn't come out of the outlet in your wall. It comes from, wait for it, fossil fuels burning at power plants. So, for starters, to say electric cars or electric heat or battery-operated lawn equipment, whatever, is not polluting is not entirely accurate. You may not be polluting out of that particular appliance, but the power is still being generated somewhere. What about renewable energy? Yes, there is a portion of that. We're making inroads there. Just had the story, We Energy's launched that huge solar project in Wisconsin, more wind projects, and that is increasing. But right now in America, we're about 80% of our energy comes from fossil fuels, including that which you plug into the wall. So you can build windmills from now until we're dead. It's not going to make up that gap, at least in the short term. So the power and the energy is coming from somewhere. You look at California, they already really struggle with their power grid without already requiring all electric vehicles and things like that. So do people, have they thought this through?
Well, so you've asked me that before, and I have a hard time, and this is me being naive and ignorant, but I keep saying, yes, they've talked, because if the three automakers, the big three in Michigan have all said, yep, we're going to go to, what, by 2030? Or
35, I think,
35,
is California's
like
requirement. Right?
Yeah, but where they're going to just start manufacturing just battery-powered cars. If the big three are considering doing that or are already saying they're going to do that by a certain time within our lifespan, aren't they also foreseeing that? You can't tell me that Chrysler's not thinking about that kind of stuff, that Ford isn't being like, okay, well, how are we going to power these things? Right?
But that's not their problem.
Yeah, but it is their problem. You're not going to sell anything then.
I guess, but so I wonder whether people really understand where electricity comes from. I truly wonder that.
Magic.
Somebody texted in nuclear. Yes, that's a component. Agreed. And some folks are pushing for more nuclear. But again, try to build a nuclear power plant somewhere. Right? People go nuts.
Yeah.
Any power plant. Nobody wants transmission lines either. Oh, you're going to hang the lines up. We have to solve this problem if we're going to move into an increasingly electric society. That, and I really like my gas stove. That's Chicago, but wait for it. It'll come here shortly. Business headlines are up next. Here's the Milwaukee Business Journal's Linda Spice.
A prospective buyer draws up plans for a business park covering 223 acres of Caledonia and including the former South Hills Country Club. The area is one of the largest blocks of land remaining near Interstate 94 in Racine County after Microsoft Corporation bought 2 square miles in Mount Pleasant. 2023 ends with more vacant industrial and office space in the southeast Wisconsin region when compared with a year earlier. That could mean a slower pace of new industrial and office development in the future, depending on how companies' demand for space changes in the year ahead. Cafe Zupas holds its grand opening February 1st in Pleasant Prairie. The franchise continues its growth in Wisconsin, with another location planned for Brookfield in the spring of 2024 and existing locations in Greenfield, Menominee Falls, Middleton, and Madison. I'm Linda Spice with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
It's here on consignment from over 10,000 nationwide partners. From very high-end, distinctive furniture, unique antiques and original art, to tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. Premium home decor priced right at 25 to 40% off retail prices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Smart interior designers know that what they'll see here is going to be almost impossible to find anywhere else, especially at our consignment prices. Premium home decor that's gently loved and close to new. And what we carry can raise the wow factor of anyone's home decor. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
According to the U.S. debt clock, our debt is over $32 trillion and climbing. The question is, how do we pay it off? One of the most likely answers is increasing taxes. Now think about your retirement accounts. Do you want to pay taxes on some of that money now when rates are historically low, or later when rates are potentially higher? At Drake & Associates, we can help you create a plan so your retirement is tax efficient as possible. If you'd like to continue your education, we have our Retirement Ready Toolkit, which includes guides on retirement tax savings. To receive this complimentary toolkit, call or text TAX to 414-409-9982. That's calling or texting TAX to 414-409-9982. When taxes go up, will you be ready? Call or text now.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Loft Financial Advisory Group, LLC, a Wisconsin insurance agency. Clients are under no obligation to purchase any recommended insurance products.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. Your hometown hub for everything that matters. The latest news, traffic, weather, and sports on Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Just after 7 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Monday, January 29th, our top story. The U.S. prepares to respond to a deadly attack in Jordan.
I'm Eric Bilstead. A Slender Man release is considered today.
I'm Brandon Snide. The dock is in as the Bucks begin their toughest test of the season.
I'm Debbie Loziga, and on northbound 43, right about at Hampton Avenue, it looks like we might have some lane closures because of some debris in the roadway. I think it might be a cone or a barrel or something, so just be extra careful as you're heading through there. Otherwise, it is going to be slow from Capitol Drive down towards Locust. Rest of the system looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Check your Storm Team forecast. Patchy fog today and mostly cloudy. Shower perhaps this evening with a high of 42 degrees. Tonight's shower chance includes a possibility of some snow mixing in and a low down to 35. Right now we're at 34 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, growing political pressure on President Biden to confront Iran after Iranian-backed militants targeted a remote U.S. military outpost in Jordan near the border with Syria. 3 American troops were killed, 34 others injured. ABC News Chief Global Affairs anchor Martha Raddatz.
With 3 Americans now dead, there is already growing pressure to strike and strike hard. The Pentagon has long had options for striking Iran itself, but this morning, Iran denying they had a role in the attack, a spokesman calling the accusations baseless, claiming the militant groups do not take orders from Iran and Iran does not want a war.
ABC's Karen Travers tells Wisconsin's Morning News what that response looks like is still uncertain.
That is going to be a big topic of conversation at the White House briefing today, no doubt, about what the U.S. would do. Has the U.S. response to these Iranian proxy attacks so far been not enough, as some members of Congress have been saying, and what should come next in order to stop this?
A judge today set to consider whether to release one of the women charged in the Slenderman case from 2014. There's a hearing today in court. WTMJ's Adam Roberts live in the Breaking News Center.
That's right, Vince. An attorney for Morgan Geyser has requested her release from Winnebago Mental Health Institute. Recall she and Anissa Weier stabbed Peyton Leutner in Davids Park after a sleepover in 2014, allegedly to please the fictional character Slenderman. Geyser was found not guilty by reason of mental disease and was initially sentenced in 2018 to a maximum of 40 years in state mental health supervision. Meanwhile, Weier was granted conditional release in 2021.
A home invasion in Delavan leaves 4 people injured, including the suspect. Police crediting residents at a home on Borough Court in Delavan with, quote, quick and decisive actions to avert a potential tragedy. This after someone forced their way into the home Sunday morning. The 3 people stabbed by the suspect in the invasion are expected to be okay. Delavan police were able to arrest the suspect, who was also treated for injuries.
Wisconsin lawmakers considering what they call blackout license plates. The proposed plate, all black with white numbers and lettering. Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel says the plates are popular in Iowa and Minnesota already. They've generated some $30 million in revenue for those states. There are more than 50 specialty plates already available in Wisconsin.
Coming up, to write or to type.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:05.
Our mission is to protect and uphold our reputation. At Semper Fi, it's the banner we all march under, because the reputation we earn and uphold belongs to all of us. And without a strong reputation in the exterior remodeling business, you're here today and gone tomorrow. And when you've earned a good reputation, that's what makes the difference in value. It's the little extra that you get for the price. And that assurance is actually what counts the most, because it means the good money you're spending with us is not going to go to waste. A roof you can rely on, with a warranty that has a backbone. Craftsman quality airtight window and door installations. Brick and stone masonry that's clean and sharp. And new siding that's been known to stop traffic. And it's all backed by a team that over the last 20 years have put a lot of heart and soul into building a reputation that you can believe in. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Do you check your savings account and wonder if you're even saving at all? At Town Bank, we view banking differently and actually want to see your savings grow. With our amazing new CD rates, you can now earn even more, so you can sit back and relax. Stop banking the same way, expecting different results, and start earning more. Go to townbank.us/locknewrates or visit a Town Bank branch nearest you today. Bank differently with Town Bank. Member FDIC.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard, aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:07.
The Super Bowl is set. Brandon Snide looks ahead in sports at 7:15.
If your dinner table has a QR code for the menu at the restaurant, it doesn't hurt to double-check if it's safe to use. QR codes are becoming a common method for scammers to obtain your information. The Department of Ag, Trade and Consumer Protection Representative Michelle Reinen tells WTMJ more about the latest trend from scammers.
They are posting fake QR codes, sometimes in place of legitimate ones by putting a sticker over a legitimate one, and they misdirect you to their website instead of the legitimate one and gather and collect your information.
Reinen's advice would be to type in the website URL if you're looking to avoid a potential bad QR code.
Was Barbie snubbed? That claim going around with some thinking that Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig should have gotten Oscar nominations in acting or directing, respectively. Film critic Matt Miller telling Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News, it's not that cut and dry.
I know a lot of people are pointing to the Ken gets nominated but Barbie doesn't, but they're in two different categories. It's not like the voting bloc voted Ryan Gosling over Margot Robbie. There was just, frankly, a lot more room in the Best Supporting Actor category.
And Matt Miller with OnMilwaukee.com. The Oscars are Sunday, March 10th.
It's the Greta Gerwig thing. That's the director.
Best director?
Yeah, that's the one that's a little bit more, If you have to remember something important, do you write it down or do you type it out? New research has some interesting results on which works better. CBS correspondent Michael George.
We remember and learn better when we write things down instead of typing them. That's the findings of a study from the Norwegian University of Science and Technology. They measured brain activity in students who were handwriting versus typing words. The students who were writing showed more brain activity in areas associated with memory and learning.
I believe that to be true.
Anecdotally, I would suggest probably.
What helps me is it's easier for me to remember someone's name when I meet them if I put their phone in my phone, if I get their phone number.
You go through a process of any kind, yes.
Some type of process. You're typing it in, then boom, okay, now I know.
You know what? It's a simple trick on trying to remember someone's name, like when you're meeting a lot of people. Actually listen to what the name is. Easier said than done, because how many times have you got away from, because you're focused on how you're going to introduce yourself, or this is my spouse, or this is my friend, like all of that stuff, and then you get away from that conversation. You're like, what's that guy's name? Who, the guy you just met? Yeah. 709 in Wisconsin. That's a problem. We're not listening. 709.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
Replacement windows and doors. Where do you start? Siding Unlimited is the best installation contractor in Wisconsin and even in the whole USA. So start there. How do I dare claim that Siding Unlimited is the best? Well, Pella, America's best manufacturer of windows and doors, said it loud and clear, naming Siding Unlimited their Platinum Elite Contractor of the Year 3 years in a row. That's a big title. It's a big deal. It means best of the best. Our own Siding Unlimited. Local, family-owned, honest and reliable, knowledgeable and skilled. Siding Unlimited. So, where do you start? You want windows, but think siding. Siding Unlimited, Wisconsin's best. America's best. SidingUnlimited.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Shop Ken Michaels Furniture's January New Year's sale for savings up to 50% off on better quality furniture and mattresses. Showrooms in Greenfield, Brookfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Checking in with Deb here at 7-Eleven.
All right, on northbound 43, right about at Hampton Avenue, we got some debris in the roadway. Not exactly sure what it is, but we might have to have a lane closed or something. So just be extra careful. That's what the DOT's saying. We do have, of course, on northbound 94, right about at Highway KR, Racine-Kenosha County line, we got an accident off on the right shoulder. Other than that, pretty much looking pretty good. Southbound 43, a little bit right past, basically between Hampton Avenue and I would say Keefe is where you're going to see your delays. Everything else seems to be rolling along fine. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, areas of patchy fog will be possible early on. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies with a few peaks of sunshine later in the day. High temperatures in the lower 40s. A weak clipper system heads our way later on this evening into the overnight hours. We could see a couple rain showers and a light wintry mix with low temperatures dropping into the mid-30s. For Tuesday, we'll see cloudy skies, a few areas of drizzle and a wintry mix possible. High temperatures will be near 44 degrees by Wednesday with partly cloudy skies. A little bit more cloud cover on Thursday with highs in the 40s, and then more sunshine by Friday with high temperatures in the upper 30s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temp at 34 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
7:12 on this Monday morning. So if you belong to or subscribe to or want to check social media in any form, your feed had to be full of Bob Uecker birthday stuff. Friday, like into Saturday.
Oh,
even,
yeah.
Right? Like everybody who's ever like seen Bob Uecker with their own eyes. Maybe not even, right? Happy birthday. So many people with the pictures of, here's a picture that I have with Bob, here's a picture of whatever. And with each one of those happy birthday wishes, and you turned 90 on Friday, there was like a story. This is the story about how Bob and I did this, or I said that to him, or he told this thing. Like, it was super awesome. I enjoyed all of them.
I agree.
Everybody's got some kind of story. We did something fun here Friday. We let you be the story, tell his own deal, right? 4th of July game in Pittsburgh. Is that where you pulled it?
PNC Park.
Bob's in the booth with Jim Powell, who was his number 2 then, 2007.
Yep.
And there was a furry convention at the hotel where the team was staying. And furries, if you don't know, they're folks who dress up in, well, like for lack of a better term, like a mascot.
Sure.
You know, so if you have the panther is your mascot, you have a big head and whatever.
Panther outfit, yeah.
Yeah, right. So that's a legit thing. In fact, I believe we've had that here in Milwaukee as well. And it was a big convention at the hotel where the team was staying. And Uke and Powell apparently came in hot. First inning, they spent the entirety of the Brewers at bat talking about it.
So what's up with that? I noticed some of that going on in the lobby today.
I did too. I got bit by one. And I liked it, I might add.
So we played the entire half inning, abridged version, right? You cut some out.
I cut out a little. Actually, I had to cut out some of the jokes, but I also cut out some of the the balls and strikes and stuff.
Because we had planned to play the full segment, and Eric came in on Friday, and he's like, "All right, I got it down to 9 minutes." Like, oh my gosh! So many people responded to that.
Awesome.
If you want to hear the whole thing, we've posted it on our podcast page. So text Vince to the WTMJ Talk and Text line, Vince to 855-616-1620. And I'll send you the link. You can listen and share.
Yeah, they were all checking in just before the team bus left. Matter of fact, 2 of them are still on the front of the bus. They didn't get out of the driveway in time, and boom, boom.
Roadkill.
Yeah. Furriers.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
New Year's resolution, get yourself a better yard. Solution. Great Lakes Landscape. Vince Vetrano here. Great time right now to book your maintenance package for your yard with Great Lakes Landscape. Some of the trees and shrubs getting a bit too much for you to handle, or you just don't enjoy that kind of work. Get a free estimate from Great Lakes Landscape on having their professionals do the work for you this spring and all the way into fall if you like. Maybe you're looking for a full landscape maintenance package for your home or for your business so you don't have to do a thing. Or if you're like me, you like to do some of the stuff. Fertilizer, that's not much fun. How about fresh mulch delivered, installed, perfectly cared for to get your yard ready to enjoy all through the summer? They got my yard ready for winter this season, and I'm looking forward to a greener, easier spring when that approaches. Ryan over there at Great Lakes, he leads a fantastic team. Their landscape consultants are meeting with families right now so you can be set to go in spring. Southeast Wisconsin's premier installation and maintenance company working for you. It's Great Lakes Landscape, WI.com. Great Lakes Landscape, WI.com.
Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life. Brands from Carhartt to Milwaukee to Purina to Goodyear to Rapala to Levi's and a whole lot more. In-store or online, check out all the brands Fleet Farm carries to help make your everyday life better.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
After dominating the Pelicans on Saturday night, the Milwaukee Bucks are out in the Mile High City today to take on the Denver Nuggets. The 32-14 Bucks will welcome in Doc Rivers to make his head coaching debut for Milwaukee. Something guard Damian Lillard is looking forward to.
We all know what he brings. You know, we heard his voice, him coaching other teams. You know, he's had success, played in this league. He went to school in this city, been around a long time as a coach. You know, he's coached a lot of great players. So I think you would have a hard time thinking of something that he hasn't experienced. You know, he's a strong voice, and you know he's going to demand more from our team. I think when you're dealing with a team that's full of vets and as talented as we are, I think that's something that you need if you want to reach the level that we want to reach, and I think he's a perfect person for it.
Milwaukee will look to begin their 5-game West Coast road trip tonight with that 8 p.m. tip time in Denver. Buck Shoot Around will get you ready right here on WTMJ beginning at 7. Over to the NFL, where Super Bowl 58 is all set. The 49ers knocking off the Detroit Lions Sunday night, 34-31. At one point, the Lions led by as much as 17 points in the second half. Head coach Dan Campbell on why his team struggled down the stretch to end the game and their season.
Honestly, right now, I can't put my finger on that. That's not like us. We had plays to be made that we just didn't make. We normally do. And so fourth quarter, you feel like we're going to get it back, and we just couldn't quite get over the hump. And that hasn't been us all year, and it showed up today at the worst time.
San Francisco scored 27 unanswered points in that second half en route to their win. On the other side, stop me if you heard this before, Patrick Mahomes heading back to the Super Bowl. His fourth appearance into his sixth season.
Yeah, I don't like losing any games, so every loss I feel like is tough. We always had everything we wanted in front of us, and we had that mindset. Coach Reed preaches that every single day we come into the building, and no one hung their head, and everybody was ready to go, and now we're going to the Super Bowl, and like I said, we're not done.
Mahomes speaking there following the 17-10 win over Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. It'll be a rematch from 4 years ago. Niners, Chiefs, February 11th from Las Vegas. And Vinny, if you're a Packers fan, you kind of forget about that 2014 NFC Championship loss because last night was 1 point worse.
Wow, that was a pretty epic collapse. I don't know where to think about Detroit, kind of rooting for them, whatever, but
no.
Here's why I wanted them to win, hoping that if they go ahead and win the Super Bowl, they get a little bit complacent going into next year, right? Maybe some guys go and take free agent deals, chase the money, do whatever. That was my one selfish hope.
Yeah, no. I cannot root for division rivals.
Okay, I respect it. 7:19, Wisconsin's Morning News.
Got game?
What was the question?
Yeah, we've got game. We've also got...
Swims through his man and lays it in as he knifes his way into the low block.
And...
He'll get to Giannis, and he says, I'll add some more to my tally. Thank you very much.
And who could forget?
Pulls up top of the arc. He got bumped, and he hit the three. Count that, baby, with another one coming.
Catch every Milwaukee Bucks basketball game all season long on your home for the Bucks. 620 WTMJ.
This is a story about how Walker Media Agency even makes rivets exciting. Vince Vitrano here. When you work with Matt Walker and his team, they get your company website working for you. Prairie Rivet in South Central Wisconsin, their website didn't even list all of the rivets they so proudly produce online. Walker Media Agency built a site for them that tells their story, highlights company leaders, and if you need rivets, a full description of what Prairie makes and how to order them. Have Walker Media Agency build your company a site that works as hard as you do. Find them at walkerwtmj.com.
After a serious crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. Your future, your family's future, your quality of life. That's why knowledge and results matter in big truck cases. And not all law firms have the know-how or the resources to handle these complicated cases. At Gruberg Law Offices, we have the experience it takes to make sure you're protected. And there's never a fee until we win your case. Gruberg Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scavini for Universal Windows Direct. If you've been cold in your own house, do not suffer through one more winter in a cold and drafty home. Call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. Schedule your free in-home estimate today, and for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free, plus a free upgrade to triple pane glass. And they'll double your energy tax credit. Tell them I told you to call and get an additional $250 off your project. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to universalwindowsdirect.com, and you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
Be our eyes on the roads. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329.
Checking in with Debbie at 7:22.
All right. Well, we've got northbound on 43 right about at Hampton Avenue. Some debris still up there causing some issues, so just watch out for that. Southbound, of course, everybody's just going to slow down from Silver Spring all the way down to Keefe. That's a pretty typical spot, though. Eastbound 94, a little heavy from 84th Street just to about 76, so quick little delay right there. And then we do still have this accident on northbound 94 at Highway KR. It looks like it's a semi involved off on the right shoulder of northbound 94. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Patchy fog today, mostly cloudy with a shower perhaps this evening and a high of 42 degrees. Overnight, showers could mix with a little bit of snow and a low down to 35. Just drizzle on Tuesday morning, maybe some snow mixed in there, but mild temps again with a high of 40. Right now, 34 in Milwaukee.
Let's go!
It's time to look at the week ahead.
Having any fun yet?
What does the week look like on Wisconsin's Morning News?
Set it up.
Yes, the stories that you'll read about on your timeline, see on the television, or hear on the radio. So today is tax day. This is the first day you can really enjoy filing your taxes early, if that's your thing. you can do that today. My wife actually asked for the W-2 the other day. I was shocked. She's already ready
and you
to
did not have it to provide. You didn't get yours yet, did you?
All right. But yeah.
There's been some asking around. Did you get it? Did you get it?
But here we go. So today's the day. And by the way, just a little FYI on that, experts would tell you it's good to get it done sooner rather than later. Obviously, you have until April 15th because of the whole ID fraud and that kind of thing. Someone else could steal your payout, which you wouldn't want.
Sooner you get your stuff in, the sooner you know that everything's good.
An update on the Slender Man stabbing out of Waukesha today. Morgan Geyser, one of the two girls accused of that stabbing 10 years ago now, trying to get released from a mental institution. They have a hearing today. Now, Anissa Wire was granted her conditional release a couple of years ago. Amazon now launching ad-supported tiers for Prime Video. Customers need to pay an additional $3 per month otherwise to maintain the ad-free access to the service.
Oh, that's why there was something I looked up the other day. I'm like, I would watch this, and it said with ads.
Yeah.
Aww.
So, I don't know. Here we go. And then you can't fast forward through those ads either. And they're in there.
Is that still included with Prime, though? Like when you get Amazon Prime, you get the whole thing?
Yeah. Well, there's yes.
Okay.
Tomorrow, the Department of Public Works, along with the mayor and others in Milwaukee, are going to unveil the 2024 Milwaukee Traffic Calming and Protected Bikeway projects. So all the projects for the year, they're going to unveil tomorrow.
Okay, some more of those little things that are, a couple 2 feet high that just get run over in the roadway?
It's better to do nothing. That's Vince's strategy. Nothing.
Have you seen some of those projects? People just run over all those little stanchions or those things they put up. There's some that are just obliterated.
Do nothing, says Vince. Also, tomorrow, an assembly bill is being considered in the Assembly Committee on Campaigns and Elections, talking about AI, regarding content generated by AI in political ads. So if you're going to start running ads in Wisconsin that have some kind of AI stuff, it's gotta say this was synthetic media or that this was done with artificial intelligence.
That's a good rule.
Yeah. Glad to have that one getting forward. Supreme Court on Thursday here in Wisconsin, the state Supreme Court will get the maps. Remember, the recommendation for the new district maps is due by February 1, and then the court is expected to release new maps shortly after that.
Whose recommendation?
It depends. It could be anybody's, right?
Didn't they get already 7 different versions of possible legislative districts?
And I know that Democrats and others have hired consultants to do some of that work, too.
And I know you were sketching out some maps, and you were going to submit some.
Yeah,
why not?
Do my part.
Anybody can.
Actor Alec Baldwin will be in court, is scheduled to be arraigned on 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter because of the shooting during the Rust movie making. This is taking place on Thursday. Thursday also marks the beginning of Black History Month. On Friday, guess what it is? Groundhog! That's legitimate, by the way. That's like an actual guy at some groundhog ceremony yelling groundhog for Groundhog Day, which is Friday. And you know what that means. Sees the shadow, 6 more weeks of winter, right? If he stays out, then anything goes.
I can't remember which it is.
Well, here's the one thing I do know.
The National Weather Service says Phil nails the forecast about 40% of the time.
Nails the forecast.
Nails the forecast less than half the time. Right. Also, wasn't it PETA that wants us to flip a coin instead?
Yes, yeah.
And then in that same story was the proclamation that, by the way, Phil's not a meteorologist. He's a rodent. I think we knew that.
Also on Friday, Apple Vision Pro is released. This is going to be all over. They'll be on the morning shows. They're all going to do this. This is that mixed reality headset that Apple's coming out with. We're going to get one here in studio from our guy Tim here in another week or two. He'll bring his in.
He's coming in. We get to try it out.
So basically, this is going to be the new spatial computer. It's $3,500, but you can wear it and actually work on computer stuff while also looking at people with this mask on.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's the future.
News about your money this morning, WTMJ.
Oops, sorry.
Sorry, sir. Yep. Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average closed Friday up about 60 points to 38,109. The NASDAQ down about 55 to 15,455. And the S&P 500 off a few points to 4891 on Friday. Great time for your retirement and investment strategy review from a fee-only fiduciary. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button now.
Woo! Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sporked called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni frozen pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian. Taste what all the screamin' is about.
Team up with the Brewers for an epic company event this season. With the Brewers Group Outing, you can trade weekday meetings for a fun-filled day at American Family Field, featuring options like tailgate spaces, all-inclusive areas, seating blocks, and much more. Plus, Brewers ticket representatives will make planning your event simple, as they'll be your personal concierge while booking your outing. Start planning your company outing today at brewers.com/groups.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scavini for the Bath Authority. If your bath or shower is old, outdated, has mold and mildew, or broken tiles, you got to call my friends at the Bath Authority. The Bath Authority provides the highest quality bathroom remodeling products, along with a world-class customer experience. Find out for yourself. Elevate your bathroom to a new level of luxury, style, and safety. Schedule your free in-home estimate today and get $1,000 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. TheBathAuthority.com. A better bath awaits.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Guthrie and Fry protects the water in my house. Guthrie and Fry has provided expert advice, quality service, and reliable water since 1974. Owners Sue and Rob are well known and very generous in the local community for supporting great causes that change lives. We've got their water softener. We've got their reverse osmosis system. Our water is crisp, clean, and clear. GFwater.com. It's Guthrie and Fry.
Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper-Fi.
SemperFiRoofing.com.
It's 7:30. I'm Adam Roberts. Our top story, a release considered in the Slenderman case.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We do have some debris in the northbound lanes of 43 right around Hampton, so heads up with that. Southbound's going to be slow from Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. That's your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving type state traffic.
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. A major escalation over the weekend in the Middle East. A drone strike killed 3 U.S. military personnel and injured 34 others at a base in Jordan. President Biden's blamed Iranian-backed militias. National Security Council spokesman John Kirby tells ABC.
We're not looking for a broader war in the region. We certainly aren't looking for a conflict with Iran. But make no mistake, Iran is supporting these groups. They're resourcing them, training them, certainly not discouraging these attacks at all. We know they support the Houthis, Hezbollah, Hamas.
U.S. is vowing to retaliate. The U.S. also one of several countries that suspended funding for the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees. It's after Israel alleged 12 employees were involved in the October 7th attack. The Senate close to releasing the text of a bipartisan border agreement with the White House, but House Republicans say it does not go far enough. And Kate, the Princess of Wales, out of the hospital after abdominal surgery. This is ABC News.
Signing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 7:31. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a judge today will consider whether to release one of the women charged in the Slenderman case from 2014. That'll be at a hearing in court today. An attorney for Morgan Geyser has requested her release from Winnebago Mental Health Institute. She and Anissa Wire stabbed Peyton Leutner in Davids Park after a sleepover, allegedly to please the fictional character Slenderman. Geyser was found not guilty by reason of mental disease, initially sentenced in 2018 to a maximum of 40 years of state mental health supervision. Wire was granted her conditional release in 2021. A home invasion in Delavan leaves 4 people injured, including the suspect. Police crediting residents at a home on Burr Oak Court with quick and decisive actions that averted potential tragedy after a person forced their way into the home Sunday morning around 8:15. The 3 people stabbed by the suspect in the invasion expected to survive. Delavan police able to arrest the suspect, who was also treated for injuries. A Milwaukee Public Schools mom calling out the bus system after months of frustration. Deborah Watson says her 7-year-old son, Destin, who attends Hopkins Lloyd Elementary School, has missed 10 days of classes because he wasn't picked up by the bus even though he came to the bus stop. Watson tells TMJ4 News MPS has not communicated well with her.
My child, twice a week, don't get on the bus because they don't come, they don't communicate, and when I do reach out to them, they're answering the phone with an attitude and they're hanging up on me.
The school district says that bus only missed the route twice due to weather this month. After years of legal back and forth, the city of Milwaukee is ready to move forward with plans for the Northridge Mall site after being granted ownership of the property last week. Editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal, Mark Cass, tells Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News what the next steps are likely to be.
So now they're going to start the planning process. They're going to involve the neighborhood. They're going to involve the aldermen. I think what you'll see is a mixed use. You'll see industrial. You'll see probably a small amount of housing. You'll probably see some office, maybe some flex space.
Cass says he believes there is still a small chance the previous owner, U.S. Black Spruce, could appeal the transfer of ownership. And today, the first day the IRS will start accepting tax returns from 2023. Most refunds will be issued 21 days after the initial filing. The IRS, however, warning against relying on a tax refund to pay a bill or any other charges. Those needing help filing their taxes in southeast Wisconsin can access the IRS Taxpayers Assistance Center at 211 West Wisconsin Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. The deadline to file a federal tax return, pay any tax owed, or request an extension to file is Monday, April 15th. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts. Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 7:34.
Coming up, the Mona Lisa attacked with soup. Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 7:34.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores, Highway 100 in Layton Avenue, 23rd in Lincoln. Great stores, great cause, and unbelievable bargains. You're going to love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
It's the last resort that comes with a grueling and painful recovery. And from what I've been told, it never really feels quite natural. A total knee replacement may make the pain you're living with eventually go away, but it opens up a Pandora's box of other possible issues. And that's why surgeons who really do care will tell you that it's a last resort. There are other surgeons who cry, "Replace! Replace!" But the physicians you'll find at Rejuvenex are primarily concerned with relief. And you may find out that the relief we give you helps so much so that you may not need to get that total knee replacement. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics. Our FDA-approved pain treatments aid inflammation and lubricate your joints. And in most cases, insurance has been shown to cover the costs. At Rejuvenex, we can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Tune in on Sundays at 10 a.m. for the AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show. Join AccuNet's Brian and David Wickert for the most up-to-date information on mortgage trends, along with timely news on the real estate market. The housing market is in flux, but the national headlines don't often fit local market conditions. Find out what's really happening on the front lines of real estate and mortgage financing in Wisconsin and make better decisions by tuning in every Sunday at 10 a.m. The AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show with Brian and David Wickert on WTMJ.
The NBA app is everyone's app. Every fan of every team.
Oh my goodness.
Everyone who follows LeBron, Tatum, and Embiid in the app. Every warrior who's ready to go to battle over three-point percentages. Every streetwear king who's here for the tunnel fits. Every young buck, nugget, and grizzly who wants to take a peek behind the scenes of the league. And everyone else on this floating basketball we call Earth. Download the NBA app today. Available in the Google Play, Apple app, and Android stores.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:37.
Doc's debut with the Bucks is tonight. Brandon Snide looks ahead in sports at 7:45.
It's happened again. Climate activists striking again at museums, throwing soup on the Mona Lisa.
Okay,
in
and
Paris.
she's fine, right?
Yeah,
The
she's
painting
fine.
is
She's
fine.
Leonardo da Vinci's masterpiece is protected by a glass casing, wasn't actually damaged. They were upset
What are
about
we fixing? Yeah, what are we going to
calling
fix
for
with
a
this?
sustainable food system. They were yelling, "Our farm system is sick. Our farmers are dying at work." And this is in France. You know, there has been some low-wage protesting going on for farmers in France. And like while it happened, they stood there and started chanting, and nothing was going on. Like no, there was like a slow move by security to like move them out of there. You know what they should do?
Where
they should,
is the Mona Lisa? Is that at the? Is she at the Louvre?
The Louvre. Yep.
Yeah.
I think what they should do in these cases, you should throw soup back. Like, let the museum, let the museum spray the protester.
I'm going to
with
need you to
something.
run down to the cafeteria. Can you grab what do we have
Just
today?
like squeezing the mustard. I gotta get in there.
Something robust.
Set it up. Why not? Hey, you throw something on
chicken dumpling.
If you throw something on this masterpiece, we throw something on you. Like that should be the rule, and that would prevent it from happening.
News is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management's Money Talk. That's heard Saturdays at 10 right here on WTMJ.
Market volatility, global issues. We hear about inflation easing, but it's still a real issue. More than a few headwinds this year. That's probably why Americans like you feel uncertain about their financial future. Just 59% of affluent Americans felt secure last year, and that's down from the year before. Boomers, not much room for error. Gen X might need more than a 401k. And for millennial families with big dreams, it's time to get real about saving and investing. Talk to Annex Wealth Management. Build security with a partner on your side for unbiased advice. Our goal is a plan that prepares you to maintain your desired lifestyle throughout retirement. Investments are a start, but you may need more. That's why Annex delivers tax and estate planning. There's an Annex plan personalized for you. Annex Comprehensive Wealth fits most individuals and families, but if you've got high net worth with complex needs, Annex Private Client is your solution. Just starting out? Annex Ignite is a great choice. Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
Meet Alan, who was diagnosed with sleep apnea.
I was what they call a mouth breather, and I would breathe at night with my mouth open.
And for about 8 years, Alan struggled with a CPAP machine. And then
I saw the Advent commercial, and I thought, well, what do you got to lose? This machine is miserable.
For most people, CPAP machines are miserable, but a simple breathing triangle solution from Advent can be life-changing.
And it really was, to me, it was amazing because I don't think I ever breathed that clear.
This is Dr. Madan Kandula. After having one of Advent's simple breathing triangle procedures, people are amazed at how freely and clearly they can breathe.
I'm happy with the procedure. I'm very glad I did it. I wish I would have done it 20 years ago. I could have avoided that machine I had to have laying next to the bed with the hose wrapped around my head.
Schedule your appointment at adventknows.com because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Social Security benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Unable to work due to health problems? Let Tayback help you get approved for the Social Security benefits you're entitled to. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Checking in with Debbie here at 20 minutes before 8 o'clock. What do you got, Deb?
Well, we got some delays. Eastbound 94, pretty much from the Zoo interchange all the way to about 35th Street. So give yourself some extra time there. The westbound side is going to be slow from 27th all the way through the stadium as well. Southbound 43 hitting the brakes from just south of Green Tree all the way down through the Capitol Drive area to about Keefe. That's where it starts to open up. Northbound's going to be slow around North Avenue up to Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, areas of patchy fog will be possible early on. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies with a few peaks of sunshine later in the day. High temperatures in the lower 40s. A weak clipper system heads our way later on this evening into the overnight hours. We could see a couple rain showers and a light wintry mix with low temperatures dropping into the mid-30s. For Tuesday, we'll see cloudy skies, a few areas of drizzle and a wintry mix possible. High temperatures will be near 44 degrees by Wednesday with partly cloudy skies. A little bit more cloud cover on Thursday with highs in the 40s, and then more sunshine by Friday with high temperatures in the upper 30s. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temperature at 33 degrees. .42 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Looking forward to something that's coming up next hour of the show. But an hour from now, 8:40 this morning, we will have Bill Davidson. Yes, of those Davidsons. Bill descended from the founders of Harley-Davidson. He now runs the museum, vice president of the Harley-Davidson Museum in the Menominee Valley. Also, I like to call him sort of the unofficial host for anything Harley-Davidson does when they throw these parties.
Okay.
Like, he's
Good.
the guy.
Yep.
Because he's still in the company. His sister, Bill's sister Karen, I believe, is still involved in the company as well. But Willie G., his dad, is not real active in the company. In fact, they're going to be celebrating him in this upcoming Harley-Davidson homecoming this summer. So Bill's going to be here in studio, going to tell us what they have planned for that. I get to finally ask him directly. You guys are good with that happening the same time at the air show, right? Everybody knew that.
We'll
and I've been
solve that issue.
I've been assured at multiple levels, yes, we were all fully aware when all of these two major events collided, or the scheduling of them. We were aware. Everybody's talking to everybody. Sure. It's going to be fine. So we can ask Bill that. Bill, tell me. You've met Billy before.
Yeah,
he's low key. He's like, it'll be fine. Vince, it's going to be fine.
That's what he's going to
tell me. He's not worried at all. So Bill Davidson in studio with us at 20 minutes before 8 o'clock. Brendan Snide with Sports Next.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try soon. Harry's is available online and in-store at a retailer near you. Get a $13 trial set for just $3 at harrys.com/quality. That's harrys.com/quality. Or check us out at your local Costco for a price you can't find anywhere else. Just look for the Chrome Razor with 13-blade refills at your local Costco. You can't miss it. Exclusive to Costco members.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
Super Bowl 58 is all set to go. The San Francisco 49ers, after once being down by 17 points in the second half, come roaring back to bite the Lions as they go on for the 34-31 win. Detroit at one point led 24-7 and then allowed 27 unanswered points in the final two quarters. Head coach Dan Campbell made a couple of questionable fourth down decisions late in that game, but said following the loss, there is no regret.
It's easy hindsight, and I get it, I get that. But I don't regret those decisions, and that's hard. It's hard because, we didn't come through. It wasn't able to work out, but I don't. And I understand the scrutiny I'll get. That's part of the gig, man.
Any regret over there, Eric?
I just think he got lost in the analytic spreadsheet nonsense and forgot how to play football.
And I get this is who we are all year. We're not going to change, but you kind of have to when you're on the road in a big. I mean, it isn't October, November. This is playoff football.
One of those times they were down 3.
Yeah,
could have tied the game. That just seems strange to me. I think they got lost in the. Got lost in the whole nerddom of analytics instead of actually just coaching a football game.
Also, that was a big old lead to give up.
And there's that.
Right, they were in good shape.
I've always said I would rather get blown out than lose like that. That's
for sure.
That's not good. In the AFC, the Chiefs beating the Ravens in a wire-to-wire win, this one by a final of 17-10 to secure their fourth appearance in the big game over the past 5 seasons. Head coach Andy Reid on how his team prepared to win in back-to-back road games this playoffs to advance.
What you get is everybody's best shot. So every week you're going to get the best shot. And so there are no games off for any of that stuff. Not any in the NFL anyways, but there are no games off. There's no light opponent. You've got to bring it every week. To be in this position, that tells you a little bit of something about the mental makeup of this football team.
Niners Chiefs, Super Bowl 58 from Las Vegas, all set for February 11th. Over to the NBA, where the Milwaukee Bucks will begin a 5-game West Coast road trip tonight in Denver. On Saturday, the Bucks officially welcomed in head coach Doc Rivers after firing head coach Adrian Griffin after 43 games. Doc was asked in his press conference on Saturday what made him choose the Bucks over maybe some other teams.
I mean, come on. You know the answer. Giannis, Dame. Really, that's the answer. You look at their team. I don't ever know the list, right? What is it, 8 teams that have a legitimate shot? And I don't know if it's that high, but the Bucks are one of them.
One of the players Doc mentioned there was Giannis, as you heard, who also spoke highly of his new head coach.
He has great energy about him. The first meeting that we had to the second meeting that we had, it was all about the team. How can we keep each other accountable? How can we touch one another? How can we come together as a team? How can we move the ball? From just, the energy that he has, it gives you a lot of confidence.
Bucks Nuggets tonight from Denver, beginning at 8 p.m. In other words, Vince, good night at halftime for me.
I know.
Can't make that one.
To piggyback off of what Giannis was saying, how can we not have me and my brother drawing up plays on a whiteboard during the game?
Seemed to be okay.
Right. Yeah,
probably shouldn't have to worry about that.
Right. Yeah, so a lot of folks are going to be interested in that. The other thing about it is what a tough stretch here for Coach to debut.
Goodness.
But we'll take it. Let's go.
Better way to start than the champs.
7:48. Mark Tauscher joins us next.
While you rest on the weekends, we work for you. Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. The latest in news.
TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson. What do you think is really going to happen?
It's going to be a busy week in the weather office for sure.
Entertainment.
Jeff Levering, pleasure to have you here today.
Season opener. It's right around the corner.
And more.
The weight of a lot of this snow now turning to ice. This is just a really dangerous situation for a lot of people.
Every Sunday morning starting at 8 on WTMJ.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. Well, you thinking about updating your bath or shower? Turn to Kohler Services for end-to-end bath and shower remodeling, where Kohler design consultants and installers do the work for you. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. Start enjoying your bath or shower right now with a special offer. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. That's Kohler Services. WI.com.
I haven't had anything to eat for days, and being hungry hurts.
Going without oil changes can destroy your engine, but it doesn't compare to the effect of going without food. That's why the Automobile Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee is determined to make sure no one goes to bed hungry. Through the end of February, they'll donate $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 13 years, Adam has donated over $820,000, providing more than 2.4 million meals to people across southeastern Wisconsin, the majority being children and seniors. And with today's ongoing challenges, the need is greater than ever. So help the hungry while helping your vehicle. Get your oil changed by Adam Dealer Factory Trained Techs at a price as low or lower than independent shops. Visit an Adam member dealer near you.
For a list of participating dealers, visit adamm.com.
Great breaded, sautéed, or fried, Sendix is featuring large, raw, cleaned, and butterflied shrimp for just $4.99 per pound. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendix Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. What's happening out there, Deb?
Well, it's slowing down along 43 southbound, that's for sure, from almost Green Tree all the way down past Capitol Drive. You're on the brakes northbound from North Avenue up to Keefe. Westbound 94 hitting the brakes right about at 20th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange, with the eastbound side slowing down just before 84th Street to about 27th. Got some backups northbound 4394 coming out of the Plainfield curb all the way up past the KK River. Southbound 41, not horrible. We do have some tightening up here between Silver Spring and Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lozga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Let's have a look. No major weather events this week. We got patchy fog and mostly cloudy conditions today with an evening shower possible and a high of 42 degrees. Overnight, that shower's chance also brings in a mix for some snow and a low down to 35. Tomorrow, drizzle early with maybe some snow mixed in and a high of 40 degrees. Wednesday and Thursday, both days with high temperatures in the mid-40s. Thursday's high 38 under partly cloudy skies. Right now, 33 in Milwaukee.
Idea Man.
All of my coaches would always say, just because someone asks you a question doesn't mean you need to answer it their way.
Innovator.
One of the first times we met, Mercure and I were interviewing you and Kuhn, John Kuhn. Okay. We were doing it at Radio City, and I knew a kid way back when named Scott Tozier, and I called you Scott twice in the interview.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
It never makes any sense because I'm sure right after you guys left, I'm sure John and I were probably like, Look at that idiot.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
At 7:52, Tausch, I was rooting for the Lions for this reason primarily. The hope that if Detroit finally went in and got theirs and won the Super Bowl, that you might have some post-championship complacency. Some guys who are free agents go ahead and chase the money somewhere, or things don't work out. Oh, well, we got our ring. It's all good. I don't even know if that exists, but that was my plan. And it doesn't matter because it didn't work.
Yeah, it's. I think all these are great plans and ideas, but the bottom line is it sucks when it's not your team, and you can root for the fact Detroit hasn't been to a Super Bowl ever. You can root for the fact San Francisco has not gotten there. It's really hard to root for any of these teams, and especially after watching yesterday, Detroit kind of stole a lot of what Green Bay did to San Francisco. Outside runs and playing physical football with them and kind of attacking them. And Detroit, those are the games that you never forget. Green Bay will, Jordan Love and the era just getting started. But I actually look at it the exact opposite. I think San Francisco is kind of positioned, a lot of veterans. I think once they get one, I think they'll probably strip it back down and reset, which will be great for the Green Bay Packers. Detroit's going to have a really hard time getting over this game. They have a good core. They obviously have a ton of young players that are really good, but there'll be something now on that, Dan Campbell and how he coaches. Is he going to change his approach? How that all plays out, because he said it last night. This might have been their best chance. This might have been their opportunity, and it, how does Eminem say it? You only get one shot? Well, that is kind of what Dan Campbell said after the game. Now, I expect Detroit to bounce back. They have, I think, a good core. But San Francisco, to me, if they can get over the hump and get this, I think with where they're at with some of their veteran players, I think it will be a strip down and a reset. And then all of a sudden, the Packers are going to be one of the favorites next year anyways. But if you take San Francisco and start taking some of their talent out of the equation, should speed up the Packers' process even that much more.
Hey, Taj, Campbell's being criticized for going for it a couple of times on fourth down when he could have went for a field goal instead. What was your take on his fourth down decisions?
Yeah, I I love the fact that he's been aggressive all season, and I think you set the tone for your football team, and you can't really go back on what that tone is. You can't say, this is how we're going to approach it until we get to the NFC Championship game. With that said, I think when you're ahead, if you can be an air raid team and throwing the football over the lot, if you're up by 14 with 4 minutes left, you got a milk clock. When you're up 14 and you're in position to kick a field goal to go up 17, you have to understand the flow of a game. And at that point, you're in a position to go up 3 scores and then force San Francisco with no momentum to go down and score just to get it within 2. When you go for it and you don't get it, momentum and the fact that the scoreboard stays at 2 scores, the psychological effects of being down 3 scores to 2 is big. And even with that, Detroit gets incredibly unlucky where a ball deep to Ayuk goes off of old boy's face mask. He ricochets and catches it. Does that happen? Those are the things you're always wondering, but I always, whenever you can put yourself up another set of scores, I always want to take that. I think if Dan Campbell had to look back at it, he'd say he's not going to change anything. But going from 14 to up 17, kicking off, and then having San Francisco take a look at the scoreboard and say, we're 3 scores down instead of, what a great stop, our defense is coming on, and now we go down and cut it to 1 score, that is a huge psychological swing.
So what for the Chiefs right now, Tausch, is this going to be the Taylor Swift Super Bowl? Like, do we have all of that and whatever, and is that good? It is, right?
It's definitely going to be Taylor Swift's going to be a huge storyline. How is she going to get back from her concert? And
we already did.
I'll say this.
already did that story this morning. Yes,
that's what I'm saying, and that's going to only are they going to move up the concert? I think it's in Tokyo, right? I don't know why I know that. I shouldn't know that, but I do know that.
But we do.
And I think Taylor Swift has been great for the NFL. Obviously, the numbers are through the roof, and I can only go off of my own household. My daughter does not care for football. That's not her deal. And as we're driving back yesterday, she's asking, are Taylor's Chiefs going to make the Super Bowl? That's literally the question she asked me. She would not have given two rips if Taylor Swift was not in the equation. So embrace it. The fact that the Chiefs have turned into the New England Patriots when all of us have said, don't ever count on anyone ever doing what the New England Patriots did, which is winning all those championships and getting to conference. The guy has never not played in an AFC championship game when he's been the starting quarterback.
That's nuts.
He has never not played, and now he's going to his fourth Super Bowl in 6 seasons as a starter. Tom Brady didn't do that. No one has ever done what he's doing. So, great storylines. Obviously, the Chiefs deserve a ton of credit, and I was 1 out of 2 yesterday. My old saying of nut whack, never underestimate the heart of a champion. It's not the greatest analogy or acronym, but I forgot about that acronym yesterday. Nut whack.
Nut whack.
Say it. Just fun to say. Say it, Bill Stead. It's fun to say. Nut whack.
Nut whack.
And I forgot that principle yesterday, and Patrick Mahomes has the heart of a champion, and I underestimated it.
Business headlines up next. Here's the Milwaukee Business Journal's Linda Spice.
A prospective buyer draws up plans for a business park covering 223 acres of Caledonia and including the former South Hills Country Club. The area is one of the largest blocks of land remaining near Interstate 94 in Racine County after Microsoft Corporation bought 2 square miles in Mount Pleasant. 2023 ends with more vacant industrial and office space in the southeast Wisconsin region when compared with a year earlier. That could mean a slower pace of new industrial and office development in the future, depending on how companies' demand for space changes in the year ahead. Cafe Zupas holds its grand opening February 1st in Pleasant Prairie. The franchise continues its growth in Wisconsin, with another location planned for Brookfield in the spring of 2024 and existing locations in Greenfield, Menominee Falls, Middleton, and Madison. I'm Linda Spice with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
988 Wisconsin Lifeline. How can I help you?
Share hope, find purpose when you become a 988 Wisconsin Lifeline counselor. The 988 Wisconsin Lifeline provides free and confidential support to anyone experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis. Staffed by Family Services, 988 has experienced tremendous growth, and more statewide counselors are needed to answer calls, texts, and chats to the Lifeline. If you want to share hope and find purpose in your next job, apply now. You can work remotely from anywhere in Wisconsin. Training is provided and flexible hours are available. 988 Wisconsin Lifeline counselors enjoy competitive compensation and benefits packages. Most importantly, you can share hope and find purpose when you become a 988 Wisconsin Lifeline counselor. Apply today at 988lifelinecounselor.org. Family Services is an equal opportunity employer.
Paid for by grants from SAMHSA and the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Commercial insurance continues to get more complex. Here's Jeff Salasinski, VP of Insurance Operations at R&R Insurance.
Thank you, Vince. You've heard me talk about rising rates for some time. And while those rate increases are slowing, let's talk about something even more important than price. A low price means nothing if you're missing important coverages or are underinsured. The most frequent errors we correct include inadequate limits of insurance for your property, umbrella, and cyber coverages, business income and extra expense coverage that's not calculated correctly. Each of these mistakes can be costly, but are easily avoidable.
So, Jeff, what's the solution?
As a business insurance top 100 firm, our deep industry knowledge and our team of professionals carefully and accurately design insurance programs that protect our clients and their most valuable assets while being competitive on price. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Shop the January New Year's sale on better quality furniture and mattresses at Ken Michaels Furniture.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. Keeping you informed, keeping you safe, keeping you engaged and entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Just after 8 o'clock, I'm Vince Petrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Monday, January 29th, our top story, the U.S. preparing its response to a deadly attack overseas.
I'm Eric Bilstead, considering a Slenderman release.
I'm Debbie Loziga. Southbound 43 going to be slow from Bender Road all the way down past Capitol Drive. Northbound's going to be heavy right around North Avenue all the way to Keith. Westbound 94 hitting the brakes right out of the Marquette, stretching to Mitchell Boulevard. The eastbound side's heavy from 84th Street all the way to about 35th. And then northbound 4394 slowing right out of the Plainfield curve up to the KK River. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Patchy fog today, otherwise mostly cloudy with a shower perhaps this evening, high of 42 degrees. If there are any showers tonight, they might include some snow mixing in and a low down to 35. Right now at 33 in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, growing political pressure on President Biden to confront Iran after Iranian-backed militants targeted a remote U.S. military outpost in Jordan. It's near the border with Syria. 3 American service members were killed, 34 others injured. ABC News Chief Global Affairs anchor Martha Raddatz.
With 3 Americans now dead, there is already growing pressure to strike and strike hard. The Pentagon has long had options for striking Iran itself, but this morning, Iran denying they had a role in the attack, a spokesman calling the accusations baseless, claiming the militant groups do not take orders from Iran, and Iran does not want a war.
ABC's Karen Travers tells Wisconsin's Morning News that what this response could look like.
That is going to be a big topic of conversation at the White House briefing today, no doubt, about what the U.S. would do. Has the U.S. response to these Iranian proxy attacks so far been not enough, as some members of Congress have been saying, and what should come next in order to stop this?
Karen also says the topic of a potential hostage release will be discussed today at the White House.
At least 9 countries, including the UK and France, following the lead of the U.S., are no longer funding the UN agency responsible for providing aid, shelter, and education to Palestinian refugees.
Israeli political sources confirming to ABC News the allegations against some of the 12 UN aid workers in Gaza suspected of taking part in Hamas's deadly attack on southern Israel on October 7th. In an Israeli intelligence report given to the U.S., at least 1 Gazan UN worker suspected of taking part in the killing of Israelis on Kibbutz Be'eri, another suspected of helping kidnap Israelis, and a third providing ammunition to Hamas terrorists. Jordana Miller, ABC News, Jerusalem.
Here at home, a judge will consider whether to release one of the women charged in the Slenderman case back in 2014. A hearing held today.
An attorney for Morgan Geyser has requested her release from Winnebago Mental Health Institute. She and Anissa Wire stabbed Peyton Leitner in Davids Park after a sleepover in 2014, allegedly to please the fictional character Slenderman. Geyser was found not guilty by reason of mental disease and was initially sentenced in 2018 to a maximum of 40 years of state mental health supervision. Meanwhile, Wire was granted her conditional release in 2021. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
There's a home invasion in Delavan left 4 people injured, including the suspect. Police credit the folks who lived there at the home on Burr Oak Court with a quick and decisive action that averted potential tragedy. Someone forced their way into the home Sunday morning about 8:15. 3 people stabbed by the suspect in the invasion are expected to survive. Delavan police were able to arrive on scene, arrested the suspect, who was also treated for injuries.
Coming up, a push to keep that AM radio on.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:06.
They were talking about doing a few things to spruce up their home, and I knew where they were coming from. Sometimes you don't even realize it, but then it hits you. You've had the same look in your home forever. And that's why Jan and Bob came to see me. And I told them they came to the right place. Because here, you'll find a bunch of choices to spruce up your home for less. They had a stone fireplace with empty walls on either side. I suggested glass shelves. She hated their old bathtub, so I showed her our glass shower door displays. They had kind of a small living room, so I thought strip mirrors would really open it up. And after we priced out my suggestions, they were surprised at the bottom line. Wait till they see their home after we're through. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Well-changing question. Are you keeping as much of your investment gains as possible? High taxes can erode returns quickly, so you need a tax-optimized portfolio. At Creative Planning, our money managers and specialists work together to make sure your portfolio and wealth are managed in a tax-efficient manner. It's what you keep that really matters. Why not give your wealth a second look? Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Vince Vitrano for Great Lakes Landscape. I take pride in my yard, and this spring, I plan to spend more time enjoying it with help from Great Lakes Landscape. The off-season is when you look ahead to a landscape maintenance package for 2024. Take feeding your lawn. You can spend just as much buying bags of fertilizer and applying it yourself. Why not get Southeast Wisconsin's premier installation and maintenance company to do it for you? They'll custom build a plan to beautify and maintain your yard, from mulch to shrubs to a lawn that's the envy of the neighborhood. It's Great Lakes Landscape, WI.com.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:08.
Wisconsin lawmakers considering blackout license plates. These proposed plates, they're all black, and then the letters and numbering are white. Wonky Journal Sentinel says the plates are popular already in Iowa and Minnesota. They've generated some $30 million in revenue for those states. There are already more than 50 specialty license plates available in Wisconsin.
QR codes are becoming a common method for scammers to obtain someone's information. The Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection in Wisconsin, Michelle Reinen, tells WTMJ some tips on avoiding those suspicious QR codes.
Inspect the URL or the web address before entering in any information. The other thing you can do is just take a look. When you open your camera and look at the QR code, it's going to show you where you're going. Be leery of shortened website links where it doesn't completely tell you where to go.
Reinen also says that there are QR scanner apps that you could use from cybersecurity companies to avoid any issues.
I don't like that whole, particularly at the restaurant. Bring me the menu.
Yeah.
Right? I want to hold the menu. I want to look through it. I want to flip through the pages. I want to see all kinds of pictures.
All right.
No?
Sure.
It's hard when
you want me to challenge you?
Yes. I want you, because you... Or the theater is another hard place, like where, and it's hard to see anyway when the theater's dark, but, you know, you can flip through real quick in your program and maybe see some. You can't turn on your phone.
See, for a program's different than a menu. I can live without a menu, but I do like a program. I like to be able to see who's in the show.
Yes. Oh, this one came from here. New move today to keep AM radio in your car.
Let's get a look at the east side. A lot of volume on
New Jersey Democrat Josh Gottheimer, who introduced legislation in the House to stop automakers from dropping AM in new cars, is asking the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration to require vehicles that don't have AM radio to include warnings on price stickers. Bipartisan lawmakers, including House Speaker Mike Johnson, a former conservative talk radio host, say AM is a critical piece of the emergency communication network. Car makers claim Americans have plenty of other ways to receive alerts, including cell phones. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
I think what AM should probably have done starting 10 or 15 years ago is get in front of this and push more of a...
See it coming,
yes, right. Other businesses have seen things happen and we're prepared to handle a digital push a little bit more than AM radio was.
And for those of you who like to listen to this here program on your AM radio, obviously we have plenty of streaming options that are available even in your car. So you could...
Even from other states. You can listen from wherever
So
you're
if
at.
you're on your way to work and you're used to just popping on the radio, obviously you can go in there now on your phone. You can click on our app and hit the live stream of the show and plug that into or use the Bluetooth or however it powers that sound system. So you can do that anyway. But I don't know, there's a simplicity about it for me, AM or otherwise. You know, it's why I still like my traditional TV. I want one remote, I turn it on, here's what's on. Right?
Well, you hold your menu.
Pop in the I hold. Right. That's right. And deliver that paper to my front door, would you? 8:11 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
At Kessler's Diamonds, we know you're too busy to go shopping from store to store, too busy to listen to a bunch of sales pitches, too busy to negotiate. This is Monica Kessler. I'm going to tell you another reason why I like working at Kessler's. Are you ready? At Kessler's, we don't negotiate. We think it's unfriendly and dishonest. So we've never done it. Would you ask your friend to pay a higher price than what you were truly willing to accept? Kessler's is a 100% employee-owned company, and the owners insist that everyone gets the lowest price. Don't believe me? Put it to the test. Go to any of our Kessler's locations and ask to buy something for $1 less than the price on the tag. One of our owners is going to offer to find you something else at that $1 lower price, but the item you want costs $1 more, period. Kessler's is the face of friendship and fairness and integrity. You never have to negotiate at Kessler's, and that's comforting, especially when you're in a hurry.
Our patient's most common regret statement? I just wish I would have done this sooner.
Find out more at AdventKnows.com, because breathing well will help you live better.
Checking in with Debbie here at 8:12.
Okay, well, looks like we've got on southbound 4394, right as you're getting into the Plainfield curve, left lane blocked with a crash there, so watch out for that. We've also got some delays along southbound 43 coming in from Bender Road all the way down to about Locust. Westbound 94, a little tight right through the Stadium interchange. The eastbound side is going to be slow from 84th Street to about 27th. Oh, and northbound 43 going to be slow coming out of the Fond du Lac Avenue area up to Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast, patchy fog still hanging around today, otherwise mostly cloudy. Perhaps a shower this evening, high of 42. Showers possible overnight. Could see some snow mixing in with a low down to 35. And then for Tuesday, drizzle early. Maybe some snow mixing in that, and then a high of 40 degrees. Right now, 33 in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Petrano.
8:14 on a Monday morning. Eric Bilstead, Vince Vetrano here with you. And we take this up till 9 o'clock before we bring in... No, not graffiti today.
We got Bill today?
Yeah.
Bill and Joe?
Doing it by themselves.
There we go.
Right. So they'll take you all the way up until noon. The theme for this hour of the program, I'm actually noticing that several of the things that we're going to talk about all relate to each other in this one way, E.
Okay.
They're all things that you and I have put on the radar for the good folks who listen to our program, who like their AM radios in their cars. So we'll be advancing several topics that we have brought to your attention over the last couple of months, in particular, a couple in the last week or so. We have Bill Davidson joining us at about 20 minutes before 9 o'clock. Yes, of those Davidsons, of the Harley-Davidsons. Bill runs the museum and does other marketing things with Harley-Davidson. He's going to come in here and talk about not only just in general the plans for this summer's now annual Milwaukee Harley-Davidson Homecoming.
I was going to talk you off the ledge a little bit, I suppose.
Well, right.
I hope.
One thing we put in front of you a week or two ago was when Harley-Davidson came out with the dates for its upcoming festival. They are the same weekend as the Milwaukee Air and Water Show. And we did raise the question of, we're not the only ones who noticed this, right? I've been assured at multiple levels that no, we're not, and that various people have been talking with each other. But Bill's a great interview and a good friend, and he has a lot of cool stuff to talk about this morning. So we'll talk to Bill coming up at 9 o'clock. Or 20 minutes before 9 o'clock. What I'm putting in front of you now, the headline reads, if it seems Wisconsin school districts are asking voters for more money more often, it's because they are. You already knew that if you listened to the show. Because you and I started talking about this, a couple of months ago?
Yeah.
And it was something that I heard brewing over the summer. A lot of folks in education, my dad and my stepmom and my mom and my wife were all teachers for a long time, so I'm kind of plugged into some of those circles. And something that I was hearing bubbling up over the summer was, hey, something coming here on the funding issue. We're going to be going to referendum. A lot of schools are going to go to referendum. A lot of school districts. I said, why?
Just had a shared revenue thing.
We just had the big celebration at the state level. The governor and legislators with their big thing. Hey, this is an historic investment in education.
They had the wheelbarrows at the coin pool there, the surplus
loading them
pool.
Up, sending it down to schools.
Dumping the coins in the barrels, sending them all across the state.
And my question over the summer and with folks that I've talked with was like, wait, what? What about that? And they're like, oh, no, that's not gonna cover it. Well, okay. I thought maybe it was just some people talking. But more and more, I had more of these conversations and looked more into it. And as it turns out, a lot of school districts across the state, maybe where you live, I know you're getting it where you live, we're having it in Greendale, are going to be going to referendum in the spring. So it's a story that we've been talking about, folks kind of towing up to the cliff, and the fiscal cliff is looming. The answer that many of them will present is going to referendum. They'll be asking taxpayers for millions of dollars in referendum questions. In a lot of cases, these aren't the sexy referenda either. By sexy, I mean, hey, we want to build a field house, or we want to have a pool.
I like how that field house is sexy, pool is sexy, but anything that has to do with learning, not sexy.
Well, that's the thing. It's like these quote unquote operating referendums are just to keep doing what we're doing, to not lay off 100 teachers in big school districts, and to keep the lights on, and to do the business of just your basic education of the students that we've been doing. We still need more money. And that's why it's a little bit different question. If you're saying, all right, if we jack up your taxes a little bit, you're going to get this new facility, or this new thing that the community can enjoy, versus we need to come at you right now for a whole bunch more money to just do the status quo. And that's what a lot of these districts are going to be asking voters for. In Milwaukee, it's $250 million this time. Now, that's obviously the biggest school district in the state. That's going to be spread out over the largest number of people. But MPS just went to referendum 4 years ago, 2020, and that one passed. Now they need $250 million more. Other school districts are doing that. It'll be smaller. The numbers are smaller, and everybody has their opinion about their own district, whether or not the district where you live is fiscally responsible with your money. But the article that I quoted the headline from was by Danielle Duclos of the Green Bay Press-Gazette. You may see it in your feed if you subscribe to JS in the app. Here's what she writes. It's estimated a quarter of school districts in the state will put a referendum on the ballot in 2024. She's citing Julie Underwood, who's with the University of Wisconsin-Madison, focuses on education policy. More than 50 school districts have already said they're putting at least one referendum on the ballot in 24. Many others are considering it.
And if they wouldn't in 2024, what would be the expectation the next time around?
Right. And how secure are those finances? Maybe the need isn't there right now, but maybe they go at you next year or the year after, even with the historic investment in education.
So it wasn't an historic investment then? Is that what we're...
Well, it wasn't historic enough, is what the school districts are saying. And why are we at this point? The article does a nice job of laying out what we've talked about already. The primary reason is state funding for education has not kept up with inflation since 2009. So inflation has been higher than the amount that local school districts were allowed to charge per pupil or per pupil funding. They've not matched up. So you have inflation at a higher level than the funding that's followed. And so over the years, some districts maybe had a little bit of leeway. I know the presentation that we saw in Greendale was, well, we took from this and we borrowed over there and we put duct tape on that and we put chewing gum on that. And we haven't had to do this yet, and we're out of options. And many school districts are coming to their taxpayers and saying that. So it's the big issue of it having not kept up with inflation. Also, you had COVID funding in there since 20 that were allowed districts to plug some of those gaps.
That's drying up.
And that's drying up now as well. On top of that, something else that's structural is special education funding from the state does not come close to covering the cost of that duty that those local districts have to families who have special needs children. And so all of those things combined, plus inflation that's been at historically high levels, have created this moment that we're in right now.
And the pile of surplus money just isn't there anymore for us to
it's there.
Siphon.
Right, but there's not energy, it seems, behind spending any of those billions or any of the billions more on plugging this gap for school districts. So they will be coming to many districts across the state. Again, the article citing a quarter of school districts already doing it, many more still considering. Put it on your radar right here first on Wisconsin's Morning News. 8:21.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores, Highway 100 in Layton Avenue, 23rd in Lincoln. Great stores, great cause, and unbelievable bargains. You're going to love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
The home of the Bucks.
Giannis, who will staple another one through on another alley-oop. The Greek Freak continues to do freakish things.
News Radio 620 WTMJ. And now, time for the Matzik Morning Minute. Take it away, Greg Matzik.
Super Bowl 58 will be a rematch of Super Bowl 54. The 49ers and Kansas City Chiefs advance on championship weekend. San Francisco trails 24-7 at the half and earns a 34-31 win over the Lions. The Chiefs knocked off the Ravens 17-10. The Super Bowl will be played February 12th in Las Vegas. The Doc Rivers era begins tonight as the Milwaukee Bucks take on the Denver Nuggets.
I've never done this. I wouldn't wish this on anyone. It's going to be a challenge. It's a challenge that I'm running towards. Got to get organized quickly. Can't try to do too much too soon.
Game 1 of a 5-game road trip for the Bucks, all against Western Conference opponents. Coverage gets underway at 7:30 on WTMJ. And at college basketball, 14th-ranked Marquette travels to Villanova on Tuesday night to continue Big East play. 13th-ranked Wisconsin is on the road at Nebraska on Thursday.
Matzik Morning Minute sponsored by Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac. It's worth the trip.
Greg Matzik here for Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac, where the New Year's sales event is on. Perfect timing to experience a new all-wheel drive Mazda, score enticing offers, get more Mazda for your money, and more for your trade. Well-qualified buyers say yes to finance rates as low as 0% for 5 years on favorites, including Mazda CX-5, CX-30, and CX-50. Enjoy Team Holiday's award-winning guest care. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Mazda Fond du Lac and at holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Chris and Tim closed their first loan with Accunet $116,000 ago in terms of the median sales price in southeastern Wisconsin. We helped their daughter buy a home earlier this year, and now we're helping them buy their retirement condo. We're told there were 3 offers, 2 cash offers, and Chris and Tim's offer backed up by an Accunet rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval. All 3 offers were probably over the asking price, but we're surmising Chris and Tim's offer was the highest because when the sellers asked the listing broker if they could count on the offer with the pre-approval letter, the answer was simply, Accunet really does their homework. It's not easy to beat a cash offer over the asking price, but that's exactly what Tim and Chris did with some help from their trusted family mortgage lender. If you don't think the lender's name on your pre-approval letter matters, think again. It's still a seller's market in the Badger State, so click on the blue button at Accunet.com today to get started with your rock-solid, guaranteed pre-approval. That's ACCUNET.com.
The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is here and ready to help. Anyone can call or text 988 or chat via 988wisconsin.org to get connected to a trained Lifeline counselor. Trained counselors are here to support anyone experiencing a suicidal, mental health, or substance use crisis. You can also contact 988 if you are concerned about someone. 988 is confidential and free to all Wisconsin residents. 988 24/7. Call, text, chat. Here to support you. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Hey there, Eric Bilstad for Tri-County Contracting. Yes, I know it's the winter time, but the time is now to be thinking about next spring and your roof. Don't forget, Tri-County Contracting has the worry-free roof tune-up. You can schedule it now. Get it on the books. Make sure your roof is good to go next spring. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com is the website, or call 262-679-6100. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. That's Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Checking in with Debbie here at 8:25.
All right, southbound on 43, backing up from Silver Spring, pretty much all the way down past Capitol Drive to about Locust. Northbound side slowing down right out of the Fond du Lac Avenue area up to Keith. Eastbound 94, riding the brakes a bit from just east of 84th Street through the Stadium interchange. And still dealing with an earlier accident on 4394 southbound right about at Howard Avenue. The 2 left lanes are blocked because of this crash. And don't forget, while you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you do see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Painting Time Saver Traffic.
.826 Wisconsin's Morning News. Another thing that we've been talking about is, I think, what could be a looming energy crisis in the country. Not because we don't have enough, but because we're changing the way we do things. We want more and more stuff to be electric powered, but we don't want to build any new power plants. We don't want to build any new transmission lines. We want to increasingly move at the same time to renewable energy, which is not as efficient as fossil fuel-based energies. Nobody wants coal anymore. Now there's a war on natural gas as well, which I'll get to in a moment. But like, you have these sort of warring ideas of, okay, we want more and more things to be powered by electricity, But we also don't want to invest in things that create that electricity. It causes me to ask the question of whether or not folks really understand how electricity works. I am convinced, and you laugh at me all the time, I'm convinced that many of the people who are pushing policies, whether at the city level, the state level, or the federal level, have zero understanding of where electricity comes from.
They think it's magic?
Yeah, I think it comes from the wall. That's where electricity comes from. It's easy. I just plug it in. Now I have this non-polluting device. It comes from somewhere. It is generated from somewhere. Chicago right now toying with the idea of going all electric in residential properties. And I think this would apply to business as well. They want to follow New York down the path of banning natural gas stoves and gas everything else for that matter in future construction. Here's ABC's Lionel Moyes.
Chicago is not the first big city to tackle this issue. In New York, gas and construction trade groups are suing to block a state ban on gas stoves and furnaces in new buildings. The first stage of the New York ban is set to take effect in 2026.
So what are they doing in Chicago? The proposal at the city council level anyway would essentially outlaw natural gas hookups in new construction. So sure, you can go ahead and buy a gas stove. You just got no gas coming into your house, right? So that's how they say, well, we're not banning appliances. Oh, I suppose not. But any new construction, you wouldn't have the hookups necessary to have a gas-powered dryer or stove or water heater or furnace or whatever.
That would require new buildings and homes to use electric over natural gas. Opponents say not so fast. They're calling for a study on the potential costs, especially if such a ban is eventually expanded to more buildings. Critics also question whether the electric company can handle the extra load.
Yeah. And have we thought about that before we've decided, here's what we're going to do? I think sometimes not. I think we just decided we want to do this because we want to do this.
See, I wondered about this too, and I don't know the answer to it, but I know that Ford and Chevy have both said they want to go all electric by 2035. So they've had to have looked at that, right? Like Ford isn't just making that decision without processing, okay, where is all that energy going to come from to be able to charge said vehicles, right?
Unless they're just following on the lead of what they feel the tide. You know, California has said, 2035, they will ban the sale of gas-powered vehicles. But you can still drive them if you have them, but they will not allow the sale of new gas-powered vehicles 2035 in California.
Sure. So you think Ford is just reacting to California? They have to at least be processing and okay, if we do this, if we make this monumental shift in strategy, they have to think about where Ford, you think the Ford CEO isn't thinking about that? Isn't thinking about where the power comes from?
Yeah, you would hope. You would think. I'm thinking more in terms of the lawmakers who just say, well, we don't like pollution, so therefore this is our answer. Everything goes electric. Haven't thought about where that electric power is generated. Haven't thought about the ability of the grid to handle that. Nobody wants to do nuclear, even though that is a way to get outside of the nuclear waste that gets stored where at Yucca Mountain or whatever. Outside of that, it's clean energy production. Everything else has, with the exception of wind and solar and some of these other renewables, right? It has some polluting output.
Right.
I thought we were all in on natural gas, but now they don't like that anymore either. I mean, I get the coal thing if you can move away from it. Or for a while, We Energies was pushing clean coal technology, and they've gotten away from that. They've gone to natural gas. Remember, it used to be a big old coal pile up there in Port Washington. Mm-hmm. They converted that plant to natural gas, so they went through that conversion. But now we don't like gas either. I just think I think it was 15 members of the council in the city of Chicago. And isn't there like 70 members down there?
They have a lot.
They have one of these bloated common councils or city council or whatever they call it down there. I bet you 7 or 8 of them have no idea where electricity comes from. At least. Comes from the wall. It's magic. No idea that there's a power plant somewhere that's burning fossil fuels, that's creating the energy that fuels their phone or whatever else they want to plug in. So I just think folks haven't thought that through. Boy, I hope you're right. 8:30 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Our mission is to protect and uphold our reputation. At Semper Fi, it's the banner we all march under, because the reputation we earn and uphold belongs to all of us. And without a strong reputation in the exterior remodeling business, you're here today and gone tomorrow. And when you've earned a good reputation, that's what makes the difference in value. It's the little extra that you get for the price. And that assurance is actually what counts the most, because it means the good money you're spending with us is not going to go to waste. A roof you can rely on, with a warranty that has a backbone. Craftsman quality airtight window and door installations. brick and stone masonry that's clean and sharp, and new siding that's been known to stop traffic. And it's all backed by a team that over the last 20 years have put a lot of heart and soul into building a reputation that you can believe in. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
It's time to make the call. It's time to get that lasting relief you deserve from that awful joint pain in 2024. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik for QC Kinetics. Hey, don't go another year compromising because of that awful pain in your knees or your shoulder. Give a call to QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative, non-surgical pain relief. Now, the best part is your body has what it needs to restore and repair that damaged joint tissue. That means no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. QC Kinetics can make it happen. Hundreds of board-certified QC Kinetics providers have treated tens of thousands of satisfied patients all over America. People with back pain, with hip pain, any pain associated with arthritis or an injury. And it's not a Band-Aid fix. This is revolutionary. It's treatment that can get you moving again and get your life back. Take the first step now. Give a call to QC Kinetics. A free consultation awaits. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
Shop the January New Year's sale on better quality furniture and mattresses at Ken Michaels Furniture.
Need to hire quality candidates fast? You need Indeed. Our video interview tool makes it easy and effortless to meet with candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Well, it looks like things are southbound 43 going to be slow from just about Bender Road all the way down past Capitol Drive. Northbound side from North Avenue up past Keefe going to be a slow ride as well. Still dealing with an accident in the Plainfield curve. 2 left lanes are blocked just about at Howard Avenue, so be prepared for that. And then on eastbound 94, pockets of heavy traffic basically from 76th Street through the stadium. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
It's 8:33. I'm Adam Roberts, and this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Your forecast today from meteorologist Tyler Moore. Patchy fog this morning, an evening shower today, a high of 42. Showers and a snow mix tonight with a low down to 35. Right now it's 33 in Milwaukee. Here are your headlines from the WTMJ Breaking News Center. A fire at a West Allis apartment leaves a teenager with severe burns. Officials responding to the home near 71st and Orchard say a 17-year-old boy fell asleep and left a candle burning overnight. The teen woke up when the back of his shirt caught on fire, suffering second-degree burns to half of his back as well as his thumb. Additionally, officials say it does not appear that there were working smoke detectors in the house at the time of the fire. One person is dead and 2 others hurt after a triple shooting outside a Milwaukee nightclub over the weekend. A fight escalating early Sunday morning outside Eve Lounge near Fond du Lac and Baldwin, which owner Thomas Holmes tells TMJ4 News led to a 26-year-old security guard's death. 2 34-year-olds expected to survive their injuries. Milwaukee police seeking unknown suspects. A judge will consider whether to release one of the women charged in the Slenderman case from 2014 at a hearing today. An attorney for Morgan Geyser has requested her release from Winnebago Mental Health Institute. She and Anissa Wire stabbed Peyton Leitner in Davids Park after a sleepover, allegedly to please the fictional character Slenderman. Wire was granted her conditional release in 2021. And today is the start of tax season. The IRS will start accepting returns from 2023 between now and April 15th. The IRS does warn against relying on a refund to pay a bill or other charges, despite the fact most refunds will be issued 21 days after filing. Those needing help filing their taxes in southeast Wisconsin can access the IRS Taxpayers Assistance Center in downtown Milwaukee at 211 West Wisconsin. Time for news about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Green to start the day for the majors. The Dow Jones up 43 points to 38,152, while the S&P 500 is up 5 to 4,896, and the Nasdaq up 15 points this morning to 15,470. It's a great time for your retirement and investment strategy review from a fee-only fiduciary. Go to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button now. Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 8:36.
I looked it up, 50 members of the city council in Chicago.
Wow, that's
the
low.
mini legislature.
I thought there'd be more.
Hey, coming up, we're going to talk a little bit more about these license plates that have been proposed for the state of Wisconsin. Apparently, they're very popular in some neighboring states. We'll tell you what they look like next.
In this seller's market, even homeowners are trying to sell their own home. But more times than not, it doesn't work out like they'd hoped. And while homes like theirs are selling, and selling fast for over asking prices, their homes aren't. So what's your next best strategy? Well, if you're looking to relieve yourself of the stress of selling your own home and still get top dollar while getting the full service benefits that an experienced realtor can give you, then look no further. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where 3.5 to 3.9% commission assures that you pay less for full service. Only 11% of those trying to sell their own homes actually succeed. And of those that do sell their own home, they sell on average for 26% less than agented properties. This often negates the savings they were hoping to get by doing it on their own. So why do it on your own when you have an experienced realtor that will give you full service at only 3.5 to 3.9% commission? Don't let your home sit while others are selling faster and at potentially better than asking prices. Call Benefit Realty for a highly experienced agent, and you'll pay less for full service.
It's the last resort that comes with a grueling and painful recovery. And from what I've been told, it never really feels quite natural. A total knee replacement may make the pain you're living with eventually go away, but it opens up a Pandora's box of other possible issues. And that's why surgeons who really do care will tell you that it's a last resort. There are other surgeons who cry, "Replace! Replace!" But the physicians you'll find at Rejuvenex are primarily concerned with relief. And you may find out that the relief we give you helps so much so that you may not need to get that total knee replacement. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics. Our FDA-approved pain treatments aid inflammation and lubricate your joints. And in most cases, insurance has been shown to cover the costs. At Rejuvenex, we can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
.38 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Bill Davidson joins us in studio next segment here. So I wonder if Bill has a take on this.
I'll have to ask him.
Motorcycle plates are different than car plates.
This is true. Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel has the story. Wisconsin lawmakers considering a blackout license plate. So the plate,
what's it look like?
It would be all black with just white lettering, say Wisconsin at the top, and then just the lettering would be in white, and that's it. And the reason they're considering this is because it's being done in Iowa and in Minnesota, and very popular, enough where the paper says Iowa's generated $30 million in revenue from people going after these blackout plates. Now, I thought the reason you'd get this plate is because maybe it's just like a sleeker look for your vehicle, depending on what kind of car you drive. And maybe that is the case. But the paper, some of the lawmakers involved in pushing this forward are saying it's more of a nostalgic look. Like an old school look, so to speak.
I mean, I'm old enough to remember the yellow, the black letters on the yellow license plate, which is pretty ugly.
Especially depending on the color of your car.
Yeah, right. So you got a nice looking vehicle or whatever, and that I guess. But our plate now is fairly benign.
Yeah, as I think they should be, probably.
Yeah. It is sharp. I don't know that I'd pay extra for it. And if you like that, so someone said, I've already seen these. The one for
Road America
in Elkhart Lake is black and white.
And it's got like the track on it on the left-hand side. So that's similar to that, but there'd be no track. Just nothing else. Just very simple. I want to know whether or not the white lettering will rub off. You know, like can we
just
keep
like our regular plates?
Yeah, can we keep it like our normal, our plates and just have that same situation where we have to like get white out to make sure that the letters can be shown?
I suggested since apparently it seems that license plates are optional, at least in Milwaukee, why bother? Vehicle looks a lot cleaner just without a plate, and that seems to not bother anybody around here.
Were you surprised by how many specialty license plates there are?
I would have guessed a dozen.
There are more than 50, says the paper. More than 50 specialty license plates available in Wisconsin.
So you got your sports teams. Bucks have one. Brewers, Packers have one.
MacFun's got one, at least one. Mm-hmm. I know. Wolves, right?
My dad had Wolf plates for a while.
Excellent.
Yeah, he did.
Got the Road America.
Knowing my dad, can you see that? Like, I have a Wolf plate. Yeah.
Very
nice.
Little
howling wolf on there.
It's sharp looking.
Right. Yeah, and with those plates, typically there's a payment then to the nonprofit, or certain money goes back to the Packers or whatever.
So this one would go to state transportation projects. So if you'd like to help pay for the barrels they can put out every...
You want to fix the damn roads?
Yes.
Right, where's Evers on that?
Get the blackout license plate. Actually, this isn't a done deal. They're still kind of pushing it through the process. It may be a bit, but eventually it could be something Wisconsin does.
We're going to stick with the roads next. Bill Davidson from the Harley-Davidson Museum joins us to talk about Harley-Davidson's homecoming celebration this summer and all the things going on there. That's next on Wisconsin's Morning News. First, we'll check the roads right now with Debbie.
All right, southbound 43, still a little bit heavy from Silver Spring down past Capitol Drive. Got that accident in the Plainfield curve with the 2 left lanes blocked right about at Howard Avenue on 4394 southbound, so just heads up with that. Eastbound 94, a couple pockets of heavy traffic from 68th Street through the Stadium interchange. By the time you get to 27th Street, you are good to go. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Brave Americans who served shouldn't be denied benefits or have a disability claim incorrectly evaluated by the VA. If you're one of those vets, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
The Vinny Cruise is here. Time to tell you all about it with Expedia Cruises in Brookfield. Vince Vitrano here introducing an amazing opportunity. Let's travel together this coming holiday season. So we'll bring in the new year 2025 at sea, your family and mine. This is a 7-night Western Caribbean cruise, 2 stops in Mexico, including Cozumel, as well as Honduras, and a day at Royal Caribbean's private island, Coco Cay. Now, I'm bringing my kids. I hope you'll bring yours or grandma and grandpa. How about this? Trip of a lifetime. Bring the whole family, your kids and your grandkids. We celebrate the new year with a bunch of families from Wisconsin at sea. We'll board the Royal Caribbean's Wonder of the Seas, beautiful ship, just outside of Orlando. So Port Canaveral is the port that we depart from December 29th, and then we're back on January 5th. 20 options for dining on this ship. Fun on board, from swimming to ice skating and everything in between. Zip line and laser tag, even pickleball courts. Trying to work on maybe we could have a little pickleball tournament there. So much fun that we can have together. Let me send you more information from Expedia Cruises in Brookfield. Just send me an email. It's vince@WTMJ.com. Vince@WTMJ.com. I'll get that info out to you. The Vinny Cruise, celebrating New Year's 2025 with Royal Caribbean and Expedia Cruises in Brookfield.
Spectrum Business is made to work like your small business. Made to do it all with fast, ultra-reliable internet, phone, and mobile services. And made to work with a small business budget. Get 600 megabit per second business internet for just $49.99 a month for 1 year with select bundles. Plus, get an unlimited mobile line for free. Visit spectrum.com/work to lock in this deal now. Learn more at spectrum.com/work. Restrictions apply. Services not available in all areas.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for one of the very special places in our community. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. They offer early memory loss classes. They take care of people in your family who have dementia symptoms or other related cognitive declines. I'll tell you what, I've been in their facilities. They're special. They're incredible. I have an aunt who's in a facility. I know what it means to make sure your family's in the right place. That's Azura. It's compassion and empathy. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. AzuraLiving.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve's committee for Universal Windows Direct. If you've been cold in your own house, do not suffer through one more winter in a cold and drafty home. Call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. Schedule your free in-home estimate today, and for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free, plus a free upgrade to triple pane glass. And they'll double your energy tax credit. Tell them I told you to call and get an additional $250 off your project. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to universalwindowsdirect.com, and you'll be saying, I love my windows.
When you breathe well, you live better. Find out more at adventknows.com.
Coming once again this summer, the now annual Harley-Davidson Homecoming Festival. It will run July 25th through the 28th. Events all over town, including and especially the Harley-Davidson Museum and Veterans Park. In studio this morning, Vice President of the Harley-Davidson Museum, Bill Davidson.
It's great to be here.
Are you president of the museum or are you VP?
Well,
depends on who you ask. I don't know.
Currently VP.
Okay.
But oversee it. I am transitioning into a little bit newer role, though.
Are you going to break some news right here? Does anybody know this?
It's been something I've been doing all my life, which is an ambassador of Harley Davidson, and I'm going to do that more full time and travel around the world, meeting and greeting our fans and riders and dealers, and I'm pretty excited.
That's funny because I just told Eric, I'm like, Bill's coming in today, and like I think your unofficial title for a long time has been host.
Exactly.
Anything we do HD related in this town, you're the guy at the center of it all. One, because you're that guy, but also because you enjoy the hell out of it.
Oh, I'm so passionate about it. Growing up in this tremendous business with the family and following in the footsteps of my great-grandfather, who was one of the founders, my grandfather, who was president from 42 to 73, Willie, my dad, my sister. I mean, it's passion, it's love. We enjoy the sport. We love the customers. We love our dealers, and it's just really good times.
Bill, can you walk Vince off the ledge a little bit? Like, all I've been hearing about the last couple of weeks is his concern for Harley Fest in a good way, a genuine concern. Because the air show is the same weekend, German Fest is the same weekend, everything is happening at once, and this guy's freaking out.
What now? No, hang on. I just want to make sure that everybody knows. That's going to be a lot of people down there on the lakefront.
And you know what? I love it because Milwaukee is a gem, and it's kind of a hidden gem. And when we can work together with all of these activities, it's just going to bring people together from all walks of life, and we're excited about it. We think it's going to be a tremendous weekend in Milwaukee.
There will be one day, so the Saturday of the homecoming, where you'll have the concert at Veterans Park, will also coincide with the air show wrapping up that particular day, Bill. There's something you guys can do together, maybe? Because the tail end of the air show, folks are like, I don't know what I'm thinking here. Can some sort of jet or helicopter land in the middle of something?
So what's really great is...
See, I'm helping, Eric.
That's a great idea.
You are helping. The collaboration between the event organizers and planners has been tremendous. And so we're, like I said, we're really excited. Milwaukee's going to be the place to be July 25th through the 28th.
You mentioned your dad, Willie, and so many folks who are riders and fans of your brand know him personally because they've come up to him much as they come up to you over the years at all of these festivals. And in particular, this year at the homecoming, you're going to honor him. What specifically are we going to do to see Willie G out there?
So Willie, my dad, is an amazing individual. Besides being somebody I truly love, my dad, he's an amazing artist. He's painting watercolors every single day. He designed some iconic motorcycles over the years. He's influenced the motorcycle industry. He certainly is a leader, being one of the original 13 that bought the company back in 1981 from AMF. And he's a legend. He gets out and shakes hands and takes photographs and signs autographs. And he and my mom did that for many, many, many years all over the world. And so his leadership of buying the company back and rebuilding it after some really tough times and everything that he's contributed to Harley-Davidson in the industry, we're going to honor him during the homecoming. And it's going to be really, really fun, the things that we've got planned.
Is he jumping out of a plane, or what do we think?
Well, he'd probably like to, but I got to talk him out of that.
Yeah, that may be right. It's going to be exciting enough, Dad. Right. How about doing this thing every year, Bill? That's new. We were on the fives for the big numbers in terms of the anniversary, making homecoming an annual event. It's a heavy lift every year.
It is a heavy lift, but well worth it, because we feel that Milwaukee can be a motoculture destination. Milwaukee has so much to offer. Besides Harley-Davidson's birthplace and everything we have, the Harley-Davidson Museum, Juneau Avenue, where we're going to open up Davidson Park, our powertrain operations, where during the homecoming we're going to be giving test rides on our 2024 motorcycles. Besides all that, we've got beautiful culture here. The architecture, the food and beverage, the roads to ride on. It's fantastic. The Lake Michigan. It's just such a great place. And I truly believe that an event every year will be something that people will look forward to. And then every 5 years, we'll ramp it up a little bit for those awesome anniversary celebrations that we've been having.
Man, anything like last year at the Foo Fighters, you got the Red Hots this year. I mean, my gosh, you bring in acts like that every year, people will come no matter what.
We're so excited. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Jelly Roll, Hardy.
Yep.
I mean, and what's so fun for me is when I'm out and about and talking with friends or meeting somebody, that's the discussion. I can't wait to go see Jelly Roll. I can't wait to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers. This is fantastic. So it's very rewarding, and it's going to be very, very exciting again for our homecoming.
I know one of your favorite things is also mine. It's meeting people from all over the world who've come here to Milwaukee. And you mentioned we have the roads to ride bikes on. When they bring their bikes in, or maybe they rent one or whatever, but they ride around here, they do talk about what a friendly motorcycle culture that we have here in Milwaukee and southeast Wisconsin, that it's different from some of the countries they're coming from. In particular, I remember meeting the Germans, and they're like, our bikes don't sound like this overseas.
Yeah, it's such a cool happening when you add up the birthplace of Harley Davidson, 121 years of history, and then you bring in the bikes and you bring in the people from all walks of life. That culture it incubates into happiness and smiles and conversations, and people will take day trips out to Holy Hill or along the lakefront or down south. I mean, it's really fun. And that, if I had to summarize in one word the event, homecoming or anniversaries, it's fun.
Talking with Bill Davidson, the Harley-Davidson Museum ambassador for the brand. Where are you traveling this year? You have other things that you'll do ahead of the homecoming?
I will be at European Bike Week in September, which is in Austria. I'm looking at a trip possibly over to London coming up in May. I potentially in France in June. The last weekend of May, it's like the 31st, the 1st, and the 2nd is the King of the Baggers race at Elkhart Lake, which
Sweet.
is fantastic. I'll be up there for sure. Hopefully get Willie up there again in the golf cart and tool around.
And I should mention, you and I have friends, shared man.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. You know, I think it's they're not in the U.S. They're not in Milwaukee. So when they have a chance to meet us, it's more rare. And so when we show up at these activities, it's like, I got to get them. I got to get a photo. I want an autograph. And it's very rewarding. It really is.
You've probably seen some incredible tattoos.
Amazing tattoos. Yes, absolutely. Yes. In fact, during the 100th anniversary, there was a gentleman that came up to the family, Willie and my mom and my sister and I and my brother were standing in a press conference area. A gentleman came up and he goes, I got to show you my tattoo. Took his shirt off, and on the back, he had a tattoo of the 4 founders of Harley Davidson.
Wow.
It was unbelievable.
Like Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Did you ask if he could just be an exhibit in the museum? Hey, listen, we'll pay you to stand here every day for 8 hours.
Just keep your shirt off.
Yeah, right.
That's right.
Bill Davidson with us today. Always great to see you, Bill, and I look
Thank
forward
you.
to more details coming out. July 25th through the 28th will be Harley Davidson's Homecoming Festival, and it'll be no problem.
Be
to do it at the
perfect.
same time as the Milwaukee Air and Water Show. Great to see you, my friend.
Great to see you guys. Thank you so much.
8:55 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
I haven't had anything to eat for days, and being hungry hurts.
Going without oil changes can destroy your engine, but it doesn't compare to the effect of going without food. That's why the Automobile Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee is determined to make sure no one goes to bed hungry. Through the end of February, they'll donate $1 from every oil change to Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. Every dollar provides 3 healthy meals. Over the past 13 years, Adam has donated over $820,000, providing more than 2.4 million meals to people across southeastern Wisconsin, the majority being children and seniors. And with today's ongoing challenges, the need is greater than ever. So help the hungry while helping your vehicle. Get your oil changed by Adam Dealer Factory Train Techs at a price as low or lower than independent shops. Visit an Adam member dealer near you.
For a list of participating dealers, visit adamm.com.
You missed the chance to do it in fall, but I won't shame you over it. Let's get it fixed first thing in the spring. Vince Vetrano here for Johnson & Sons Paving. Would have been great if you got the team out to your commercial parking lot or drive to seal up those cracks and make just those minor repairs before we got into the freeze-thaw cycle. If those small cracks are now starting to turn into big gaps or potholes when the snow's melting off, now is the time to get on the schedule with your commercial paving project for 2024. You book the work now. It puts the Johnson & Sons design team to work right away and also puts you first in line in the spring so the damage doesn't get even worse. Put a fresh topper on, rebuild the whole thing. Consider Johnson & Sons for new construction as well. They do it all, and they're local. Plenty of Johnsons over there, no subcontractors. JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
Checking in with Debbie here one more time before 9 o'clock.
All right. Well, we're still seeing some delays on southbound 43, basically between Silver Spring and Capitol Drive. Not too horribly bad. We have an accident on 4394 southbound right at the ramp from Howard